With Dunkin' Go-Tos, you can get a great deal on 2 of your favorites, like 2 egg and cheese wraps for $2, 2 bagels with cream cheese spread for $4, and 2 bacon, egg, and cheese croissants for $5. In my opinion, it's a deal that's pretty tough to beat. That's just if you want my go-to cents. If you don't want my go-to cents, it's go too late. Dunkin' Go-Tos, a great deal for $2, $4, or $5. America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. Exclusions apply.
WTF What's the Focus podcast is brought to you by Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll even distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started.
What's the focus? Pop culture, movies, and TV news. What's the focus? What's the focus?
All right, this is WTF What's the Focus podcast. Welcome back, Focus Fanatics. What's up? I'm your host, Ryan, and join with me as always, co-host Mike Michio. What's up?
Dude, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Comic Con, wow. There's a lot to talk about.
almost too much to talk about, man. Almost too much.
I'm a little bit worried we're going to go over 5 hours this time. I'm just going to put that out there right away.
No, don't put that out there. Please. I mean, we can definitely talk. I definitely want to bring up a little bit of the last episode, but before I go ahead and do that, bringing back special guest for the second episode actually in a row. So, man, we're lucky here. We got Mr. Stephen Redgrave. What's happening, my friend?
Not a whole lot. Just ready to talk some Comic Con 2019.
Yeah, man. Jeez, so
God,
exciting.
see, Steve's just ready to go right into it. That's it.
I know.
Fuck it. I don't even want to know how your last
I'm here
week
for
was.
a reason.
Forget it.
You know?
I showed up. I thought it was tomorrow. My bad. It's okay. But I'm here now.
I paused my movie, okay?
All right. Well,
Okay.
Hey, wait. What were you watching? Oh, I
What's
see.
it called? Mastermind on Netflix?
Okay, yeah,
It's
that's
like a dumb comedy. So,
Yeah,
Okay. All
that's
right.
Zach Galifianakis, right?
yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
No, I enjoy anything with him. By the way, do you think when we get actually into the show, there needs to be a better like a slogan for our show? I was like, what would be a good way to start it? Like, hey, this is WTF What's the Focus podcast, the only podcast without a dress code. You know, something catchy, something I don't know.
I agree. We need to write some creative intro dialogue that just kind of goes on a little riff that you could just read off really fast. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll work on that, Ryan.
Okay. And you know what? I wouldn't mind actually hearing a couple slogan ideas from some fans.
Yeah, that'd be awesome too.
I got to be up front. You guys give me any kind of suggestions for the show. I'm gonna take what I want and really dump out all the other stuff I don't. It sounds a little brutal, but you know, me and Mike, we're doing our own thing, and we have our own way of doing it. So, but when it comes to this, if you guys have any suggestions on maybe a fun slogan that we can actually take a look at, I'd be more than happy to actually give that a fair consideration. Right, Mike?
Yeah. Anything besides "fuck your focus"? Well, we will not include that.
No, I'll probably read it on the next podcast and mention it.
We'll read it. We'll
Yeah.
definitely read any negative comments or any negative sentiment toward the show. Absolutely.
Yeah, because we're stuck at 3 reviews right now via iTunes, and, you know, we would love to get, obviously, some more. We know people are dominantly listening on the whole actual iTunes podcast, so, I mean, there's no real excuse, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so, Steve, when's this glorious review going to come? I'm just saying. I mean, it's twice now you're on the show, so, I mean, it's coming soon, right? Like, how hard are you to get? So, just saying.
I feel like I'm trying to win.
Yeah.
I just got.
I mean, I feel like I've kind of wined and dined you up into this point. Are you gonna pay out or what?
Yeah, you're gonna put out is more like it.
Yeah. You gonna put out? Yeah.
We'll see how it goes tonight.
Okay. All right. Oh, we've been forewarned. Oh,
Yeah,
we got live
show.
threats. The first little threat on air. I love it.
Yeah, the first show was just a bullshit episode, and now this one's the deciding factor for a good review. So that's good.
Yeah. Last week I was testing you guys.
Whoa.
Oh, there's
Well,
a Black Mirror episode. I
well,
feel like I say
let's-
that every podcast, but yeah, that's pretty good.
But let's be fair. If you were testing me on last episode, I failed big time. Big time. Let's just say that tonight I've taken a step away from heavy drinking because obviously I'm doing all the editing for these podcasts. And as I re-listened to myself, man, I was just really disappointed on how stupid I came across at some points within the conversation. And I don't remember, I think, the last 30 minutes of that entire podcast.
Don't you fucking say you blacked out, man. Come on. You remember everything. It was like, what, 2:30 in the morning? I mean, let's be honest here. We started that podcast probably, I don't know, 10:30, and we were going till almost 3 in the morning. So,
Yeah,
everybody
and I was
who's
like
listening, put that in your mind.
Yeah, and I was like 6 full cups. Not little glasses, but like actual pint glass cups full of whiskey, and it got to the point where it was a mixed drink, and then I was just shooting straight whiskey, and then all of a sudden I was just talking out of my ass. I didn't even know what I was talking about most of the time. What did I say? What did you mention to me, Mike? I was talking about the Tom Clancy version.
No. I'm sorry. John Clancy's Jack Ryan on Amazon Video. Yeah, that was a great little fupa right there.
So if anybody doesn't know, John Clancy is a distant relative of Tom Clancy who does offshoot things that Tom Clancy does. So,
Isn't he in pornos? I'm not sure.
he goes by the alias Carl Hungus.
Tactical espionage action with John Clancy and the 13-inch rod.
Just a lot of stupidity last episode. I just want to personally apologize. I know we were having fun, and I don't care that much, to be honest. But, I do try to be somewhat coherent, and last episode got a little carried away. But, I guess
I think
that's part
you're
of the
selling
fun, right?
I think you're selling yourself short, dude. It was fine. It was okay. It was more or less us just keep going off on fucking random tangents about Stranger Things. I think we overestimated or underestimated how much we actually wanted to talk about Stranger Things. But
Yeah.
But hey, man,
long.
I think here's the good news. We're not going to talk about it this episode. That's for sure. I'm done.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that, though?
Oh, Steve, we will hang up right now with you. And moving on to Comic Con 2019. No, I'm just kidding. No, dude. I mean, what? 3 episodes we talked about Stranger Things, man. Like, yeah, I feel like we've done enough.
Yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
yeah. Oh yeah. We definitely kept expanding last episode, so
Yeah.
we're good on that.
Yeah. We gave
Mind
our fair
Flayer,
homage.
Demo Dog, Demogorgon. Who gives whatever? Fuck.
See, you're
I don't
talking
know.
about it. Damn it! God damn it! See, Steve was
Hey,
right
this is-
already.
this is
We're
the
failing
intro.
his critical.
This is the
fucking
intro.
test about us.
No, we need a better intro, and this is what we're doing. We got to get more personable. So yeah, let's.
All right, one last tangent before I actually get into this. I had an incident happen, and I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts, and if this has ever happened to you, because it was super embarrassing. So, I moved from Portland, Oregon last August. I consider myself a very peaceful driver. I'm not one that likes to go and just drive 100 miles an hour on the freeway, cut people off, and, make the road my bitch. That's not me. I'm more of a cruiser. I'm going to leave at a good time. I'm not going to be late, but I'm not going to rush. So I was running late because I was having, some family things go on at home, and I got out the door a little late, so I was driving a little bit quicker, and this person on the freeway cut me off so hard. And I went nuts. I mean, they almost hit me, so I fucking went berserko and, was sticking my body, on the freeway, sticking half my body out of my car. And I was flipping this guy off, and I was yelling everything you could possibly imagine. I look at him, and it's a guy I work with. And
Goes around,
I
comes
must
around.
have put my body back in that car and swerved into the other lane behind a truck just to dodge out of there so fast. I don't know if he saw me or not. I don't think it would be possible for him not to have seen me because I was out there, and I have not ran into him at work this week. week, and I'm actually kind of nervous to actually run into him again. So, yeah, have you ever done that where all of a sudden you had a little road rage and you looked and you're like, oh shit, I actually know that person? Has that happened to you before?
So here's the thing about that is that, that happens probably more often than not. Like just the fact that, like, people are so, like, aggressive when driving altogether just because everyone just feels like they're almost, like, against the world, right, when driving. So, yeah, man, I actually think it has happened, and not so much someone I've worked with, but someone that I've known from the past. And, yeah, it got to a point where, yeah, I might have flipped off someone I knew way back in the day, and yeah, I'm sorry.
I gotta say, I felt bad. Like, if it was a stranger, I'd be like, yeah, he deserved it. But I saw this guy, and he's not anybody that I know really well. I've only seen him around a few times because I'm not always at the office. I'm more on the road. But yeah, I saw who it was, and I was like, oh shit! And I was giving him the business too, dude. I mean, it was. Whew.
So
Ryan
I actually, I learned a little trick here from my father-in-law, which is pretty awesome. And as opposed to just naturally just giving flipping the bird nowadays, I like to do what he does, and this is the passive-aggressive thumbs up, like immediately up up toward the windshield, where you're just thrusting your thumb up in the air toward the driver, as if to say, fuck you, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, just good job. You're doing great. Like, I really enjoy doing that now because I just feel like that's just, it's more or less the more passive aggressive approach, I guess. But
you're gonna Steve Irwin him.
Exactly. Yeah. So
well, you got to be careful out here in Arizona. It's like the Wild West, man.
Yeah.
I was driving around a couple months ago with Nicole, and this guy was in his truck and just holding his elbow up on his middle console, so his hand was in the middle of, both seats, and he's just holding his gun right in his hand, just right in the middle of the middle console, just up in the air, just holding a pistol, just driving around in his car. And we were just like, hey, with gun laws here in Arizona, I mean, they're so lax, like everybody just carries here, it doesn't matter. And man, yeah, it's scary to have some road rage here because you just don't know who's carrying any firearm, right? So when I did it, I immediately was like, shit, because, Nicole gives the thumbs down to people. She likes to boo people for their performance, which I actually thoroughly enjoy because I feel like that's even more hardcore. I'm like, man, you just got booed, man. Like, I didn't flip you off. I just, like, booed you as a human being. like, that's so much more satisfying to me. I don't know why, but it is. But yeah, you got to be careful out here. So I was
it's fun. It's like that's just a fun, different way of doing it for sure.
Yeah. All right. Enough tangent. I just was curious, man. It was something that actually happened to me yesterday, and I was meaning to talk to you, Mike, about it.
Well,
I was like, oh, shit.
I know. Well, we didn't give a chance for Steve. Steve, have you had anything like that occur to you?
No, not really. But I wouldn't be shy about something like that. I would probably have doubled down, especially if it was somebody I didn't like at work. I would probably I'd probably give him the old crazy eye as I walk by at the office.
The double
see what he does.
I'm looking at you, motherfucker. Yeah, that's right. Keep walking. Keep
walking. That reminds me of Zach Galifianakis from Hangover.
Yep.
Don't you look at my car. Don't you look at me either. Yeah,
know your role, fool. Know your role.
Yeah, know your role. All right, so we have a lot to get into. Obviously, this is a Comic-Con episode, so we are going to be going over... I'm just going to preface this like this. We're going to go over as much as we can, because there was so much material within Comic-Con, not only within TV, not only within movies, but video games, comic books. I mean, there was just so much that this year gave us. Well, I would say every year gives us, but it's so overwhelming if you try to fit it all into one show. Like you said, Mike, we would be here for 5+ hours, maybe even more. I mean,
easily.
There's that much material.
I mean, the event itself was over a span of 3.5 days or something, 4 days? Was that what it was? Yeah, there's so much stuff. So, yeah, man. Just leading right into it, though, I just wanted to briefly go over what I've been having fun with. I mean, obviously this is obviously leads off our last podcast, but into Comic-Con, and we talked about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and I've been actually thoroughly enjoying it up to this point, and I just wanted to touch base with Steve real quick to see how his first impressions are with it. For me, myself, online still feels like it's kind of clunky as far as like matchmaking goes, but I am having a lot more fun with the game when I actually docked it versus just playing handheld mode. So yeah, man, I'm definitely liking the story mode. I like how they're blending all the characters together. So for right now, it's a pretty fun game, and I'm enjoying it. How about you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm having a great time. I kind of went the opposite route. I started docked. My wife and we played, I think, the first 3 or so missions. Had a good time. It was about what we expected. Like, we played at E3, all that stuff. And then she went to bed. I kept playing, and then I think a few nights in, I was like, "Let me try, handheld." So I was playing that in bed and stuff, and you obviously you can tell that there's a little bit of a difference with the.
It's too busy in handheld mode, right? Like
it is. It definitely is.
Too much going
with that
on.
Screen, it's so small.
Yeah.
Everything's happening, especially when you do the 4-person extreme attacks. You're just like, whoa. Did I win?
All right, something special's happening. Did I just kick so much ass or what? Like, who died? Someone better died.
But yeah, it's a fun game. It's definitely a lot simpler, like a more simple storyline than I was expecting. It's kind of more just, okay, here's the characters, play the level.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the characters, play the level. And they kind of just throw you in there, give you a short
like the
video,
story's
and
just on like
keep
a
going.
rails or whatever. Like, it's just, yeah. I mean, literally, it's a linear playthrough, I feel.
Yeah,
but,
it's very linear.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, the thing is, the biggest drawing point of the game was the multiplayer aspect. So, I mean, that's great you're playing with your wife. I mean, that's literally, I wanted to, actually play with you and the others. So, yeah, what's really cool is that we get this game, like, the day before, or actually, the day of Comic Con. So, that was fun. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, dude, that's literally, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. But, yeah, let's go over it, dude. How goes it, Ryan? Where do you want to start? I mean, do you even want to start?
I'm just so happy for you both. It's just all. I was just quiet and just so happy. Congratulations, you two.
You're gonna get a Switch. It's gonna happen, buddy. It's gonna happen.
I was very close because then all of a sudden Walmart just came out with a deal right now that if you buy a Switch console, then all the games are 50% off. And that seemed pretty good to me, and I might have went a little overboard if I was to get it, though. I could already tell that I would have gotten like 3 or 4 games right off the bat, and then my pocketbook would not have been happy. So I am definitely going to wait for that new release with the extended battery life come mid-August to, or I guess it actually, what I was reading was early September now. So I don't know if that's true or not, but...
Yeah, they say these units are going to start rolling out mid-August, so you got about 2.5 weeks.
All right, I can do 2.5 weeks.
Do we know if the packaging will be different?
Yeah.
Like, how will you know about the...
Yeah, so there's 2 ways to track this. One is through model number, and the other is through the packaging. So the traditional box obviously has, I guess, obviously, the Switch, on the display or whatever, but... The biggest draw I got from the difference is that the new packaging is a full-blown red package where everything is red. The backdrop and everything is red, where there's a little bit of white contrast background with the base model or the original model. So
more on point with the brand itself of Nintendo.
Yeah,
at least at like E3 and stuff, that's kind of their thing with the giant red wall just says Nintendo.
Yeah, so they're actually changing the model number too, so you can also honestly track it through that online. So definitely look for that as well. Which is pretty cool that they're obviously doing it that way because not a lot of people know this, but they actually have different model versions of like the PS4 Pro and stuff that actually have like different discrepancies between different fans and like what's, or different fans or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of nice that they were upfront about it early on, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, Ryan, you don't have to wait too much longer, dude. Not at all.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. I've been scouting out the games that I want. I know I've been messaging you a little bit too, just being like, "What do you think about these?" I'm a huge Mario Kart guy too, so I'm excited for that one. I would love to jump on that again. And I sent you that live action video of what it would be like if it was actually Mario Kart in real life. It was kind of fun.
Dude, that's why I drive a Mini Cooper, man. I mean, it's literally a Mario Kart, like, actual kart. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't throw shells or anything, but that's okay.
See, the Mini Coupe always reminds me of the Italian Job more than anything else.
Well, of course, but, I mean, when it gets down to it, I mean, what, professional vehicle is there that kind of simulates that? So,
yeah.
I mean, I guess a smart car, but I don't want to go that small.
Nobody does.
No.
Come accident time, you're all in trouble. All right, so we're going to break into this, guys. This is a huge deal. We're going to first be talking about Marvel Phase 4.
Phase 4!
Yes. Oh, man.
So fucking jacked for this.
Me too, right? I mean, shit,
Yes.
there is so much that we're going to get from 2020 to 2021. Which, it's so funny. Every time I talk to people and I'm like, yeah, we're going to get this new series or new movie come 2020. Everyone's like, oh my God, like, that seems like forever. And I'm like, really? Because I can't believe how fast the year is approaching. It's going to be the new year within 4.5 months from now. I mean, That's nothing.
Well, dude, 11 years ago, friggin' Iron Man came out. So go put that in perspective. Okay?
Gosh, dude.
So, the years are flying by, and, it's been an awesome ride as far as Marvel MCU movies go, and, everyone has been super stoked to just been waiting for this announcement to see what the next, I think almost 2 years of entertainment we're going to get, whether it's through television and film, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in order, and these are not movie order. This isn't TV order. This is a mixture of both. As much as the movies are gonna obviously play into the next phase, and possibly obviously the next Avengers 5 movie. The miniseries shows off of Disney Plus are going to coexist, and have a big part of that as well. Some more than others, but they're going to relate into some of the movies going forward too. So they're just as important, but more importantly, they're all going to be extremely fun and entertaining.
But how smart is this, though? Right?
Oh,
like
my
you're gonna
God,
have
genius.
So this is completely different than the Netflix series where there wasn't a direct connection. Like they're actually going to have these shows kind of intertwined with these films, and damn, dude, like it's going to be a hell of a ride.
It really is, man. It's going to be so much fun. And for these actors, to come back, and these are big time actors now, right? I mean, anybody
They're so lucky. They're so lucky.
Oh my God, they're lucky, but it's also great. I know they're getting paid, but for them to do even just TV, I mean, there is a difference between TV and movies within budget, regardless of what people think. Within Marvel, obviously, maybe that's maybe a little different than most networks, obviously, having really as much income, I think, as they want because of how well they've been doing. But it's still a big difference, and it's great to see these actors come back and want to be these characters and continue their role, which I think just kind of brings more excitement to the screen for me. But anyway, we're going to jump right into it, and we're going to start with the first movie coming in 2020, starting Phase 4 with Black Widow coming May 1st, 2020, man.
And quite honestly, it's not even, to me, a Phase 4 movie. It just happens to be during this phase that we're going to get this film. So
yeah, being a prequel, I don't see how they're going to be able to kind of move things forward, right?
Is it a prequel? Because it's just a time filler, I heard, in between Civil War and Infinity War.
Well,
that's what they announced.
Yeah, but I was also told that the beginning, the footage that was actually shown at Comic Con was actually her in Budapest. And so that is 100% obviously within her past. So
that means
assuming
they're going to have like different arcs in the film where they're going to maybe fast forward or something.
Correct. Yeah, there's going to probably be a couple of little time jumps to kind of maybe just further give background to this character and fill in some of the blanks. We've obviously been hearing about Budapest since Avengers 1.
Yeah.
So with her and Barton, so to be able to actually see those scenes and those battles is going to be a lot of fun. Steve, are you excited for this one as much as the others, or how are you feeling about this one coming, going forward?
I wouldn't say that I'm hyped for it. I am definitely intrigued, and I'm curious what they're gonna do. I feel like it's kind of one of those characters that like they should have done this already, and I guess I'm just kind of semi over it since, you know, we all know what happens to the character come the end of, you know, the Infinity Saga. So it's just kind of...
Are you sure? You sure she's not a Skrull? Uh-oh.
Well, I guess they don't technically show. Well, I mean, they do actually, but
Yeah.
I mean, they could do whatever they want, so you know, it's possible. But
Yeah. Anything
no, I
possible.
don't think she is. I think
I agree, though. This movie kind of feels like it kind of dangles outside of, you know, oh, maybe it's part of the... I mean, outside looking in, this feels like a leftover movie where this should have been included in the original MCU timeline. But this honestly is going to be a different type of movie altogether because they're going to try to encapsulate this entire character from, what you're telling me, Ryan, her origin early on to where she was in the MCU to the current actual... You know, I guess the ending is going to end up through Infinity War, right? Right before it. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is like almost like a time filler movie that's going to kind of piece together the in-between moments of these previous films we've seen. So, with that, it's going to be fun because there's going to be a lot of like callbacks to maybe maybe some of the other movies. So. I'm excited for that because I thought they did a great job in Endgame with doing a lot of the callback scenes to the other original films. So in that regard, they've nailed that. So I'm super excited to see what they're going to do with this one.
Yeah, and you know, when I was reading more about it from what I was actually given at Comic Con, I was actually really pumped with one of the articles that I was actually reading, and I'm just going to read a little excerpt about it just right now, just because I thought it was kind of cool. It says the first Black Widow footage included previews of Natasha traveling to Budapest, fighting one of her former assassin friends. The two brawl throughout an apartment, and it's clear the two women are perfectly matched for one another as they've been trained in the same style of fighting. The first footage indicates these two will begin as enemies, but may develop into allies. The footage also previews the film's main villain, Taskmaster.
Hell yeah.
So
About damn time.
Yes, right? And I'm a huge fan of Taskmaster. I think he's a great character. And for them to actually bring that character now forward and into this movie, that gave me my hype. Because
Yeah,
I was
totally.
right there with you, Steve. I was kind of like, man, I feel like this movie should have already happened. I know it's kind of, you know, different and maybe a prequel because of what we saw in the Infinity Saga, like you also said. But I was kind of just like, you know, I want to skip right over to like Eternals or, you know, something else. I just wasn't as into it.
That's how smart Marvel is, man. Like they pulled a total wild card and just casted a character that like people have been wanting to see in this movie and just slot them into it. And yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And if anybody doesn't know who Taskmaster is, I'm not going to dive too far into this because we do have a lot to discuss. But the simple kind of just description of him is he can easily retain information and use it against you. So he can learn your moves of hand-to-hand combat just by, you know, watching you once, and then he knows fully how to do exactly what you do. So obviously, if anybody, you know, within fighting techniques or just any kind of skill set of any kind of, you know, warrior or hero or whatever you want to call, he becomes obviously a huge threat.
That's awesome. Did they actually announce any actor associated with the character, or no? They just announced the character.
They just announced the character. I do not see any actor attachment to this character yet.
Okay, cool.
But dude, look at the cast list. There was a couple. Obviously, we all know Scarlett Johansson is Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff. Who else do we got, man?
David Harbaugh got casted. What? What?
As the
Hopper.
Red Guardian, man. As the Red
Hell
Guardian.
yeah, dude.
Which is
Captain
so
Russia,
cool.
bro.
Yep. So
they did capture him.
So
look at
they
it.
do have him.
Oh, he's in the Upside Down.
Oh, multiverse.
Oh,
Wait, what?
shit. No, we got to wait till Doctor Strange. See, we're jumping ahead now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right. All right.
No, but they got a great cast. It's going to be a lot of fun to see him and
quickly
Scarlett
though,
Johansson together.
who's directing it? Do we know this person? Kate
No.
Shortland?
So, yep, Kate Shortland is the director of this film. From what I see of hers, I believe she's done other things within comic
TV,
books.
right?
Well, let's see. So she did let's see, I'm just kind of looking it up now. From what I see, she's done a lot of short films. She's done a lot of TV. She did Bad Cop, The Secret Life of Us, The Silence, Lore, Berlin Syndrome.
Smilf.
Yep, Smilf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I don't know her. I can't attest to anything she's done in the past. I can't give you my good or bad or my rating system.
Shout out for a female director. That's awesome. That's freaking
Yeah.
badass for a comic book movie. Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I think I forget her name right off the bat, but obviously that kind of all started with who was the Wonder Woman director?
Woman, dude.
Obviously, anywho, that's been a bigger drawing card now to get more women to direct these superhero movies, which is great.
Rightfully so. Their main character, and Patty Jenkins is who you're referring to, by the way.
Thank you.
These main characters are obviously women, so to have that woman perspective from your director only makes sense, right? I mean, that's what I would want. I don't want some guy to direct a main... I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I shouldn't say that, but I'd prefer, I should say, a woman having more of a view and control over a main woman lead actress. I just think that makes more sense, right? It's just a little more fluent. But yeah, that's all exciting. I'm definitely excited for this movie now that we do know who the villain is and the actors and actresses attached to it. I still think, again, Marvel has given me zero reasons to doubt them. I've enjoyed literally everything they've actually put out, some more than others, of course, but I've enjoyed it all. So, really happy to see how they lead us off into Phase 4.
No, it's exciting, and I hope by the end of this movie, there's, obviously we kind of got from Comic Con the release timeline as to what's going to come out and the order in which. So, I mean, it's going to just lead in right into our next, if we want to just go right into it. I mean, this is going to hopefully lead into the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I hope, or if not, I mean, maybe it's the Eternals, but. Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? You think they're going to go just attach it right to one of the first series for the Disney Streaming Plus app?
Yeah, I think what we're going to get from Falcon Winter Soldier is going to, I think at the very end of the series, it's going to lead something into the Eternals coming, quickly after.
Okay, so you don't think there's any direct connection from Black Widow? You think Black Widow's just like a filler? That's it?
Correct. I could, obviously,
that's what I think
know,
too.
But... If I had to bet, that's what my bet would be. I would think that would be just a filler movie. Entertaining and great, but just a filler movie.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is fun, right? Because it's totally nostalgic to the original MCU, which is great.
Yeah. What were we going to say, Steve?
I was going to say, I kind of wonder, though, if Black Widow is intended to be like a way to introduce villains that will appear later on, but not necessarily directly from the outcomes of this movie.
Yeah,
that's what I was wondering too, because Taskmaster himself, I hope this isn't just a one and done. This is the first and last time we see him for a while, because I'd like to see him appear in the other movies as well. He totally pertains to Spider-Man, so I'd like to see him in that series eventually.
This is essentially a spy movie, right? So
yeah,
you're probably going to get a twist of somebody is a double agent or not who they seem to be. I would not be surprised if we have already seen the actor playing Taskmaster and we just don't know who they are.
Interesting.
I think it's Ray Winstone. He's on the credits. Yeah, I think it might be him. I'm just kidding. I think it's Beowulf.
I am Beowulf.
I'm Beowulf. Yes, I'm not fat in this movie. Not at all.
But I mean, even Belova, we don't know exactly the relationship they're going to go with this character.
No, we have no idea. And
been
also
associated with many organizations within the MCU. So they could even be introducing some of them through this character. She's either going to be like a, carry the mantle type character, or it's going to be she ends up being a villain. We just don't know. So I guess
we don't know. It's so early right now. So once we get a trailer, we'll go ahead and dissect that more for sure.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some fun when some trailers break, man. I'm so pumped for actual footage. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
So
all right.
So
next thing, what do we got?
Yeah, leading right after Black Widow, we got like you said, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So this does not actually have an official date attached to it. All we know is that it's going to be on the Disney Plus service, which is now activating November 12th, and this is going to be, actually available to watch sometime fall 2020. So only a few months,
okay. I'm expecting
after Black
that.
Widow.
I'm expecting that anywhere between, obviously, September to October, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And this will be very interesting to see now, because now we're going to see the Falcon really, I believe, play now the actual role of Captain America. I mean, the mantle was actually, very much passed to him, or the shield was passed to him, and now he's going to be taking on that role. So
who knows? Maybe there'll be a fight between him and Winter Soldier. You don't know yet. We'll see.
Which there definitely could. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen that in the past where they, they're obviously friends and they're battling each other. I mean, we see that. That's Civil War in a nutshell.
Yeah, totally. I would like to see that be explored to some extent, because I mean, Winter Soldier does become in one instance in the comics, he does become Captain America. So
yes, he does.
yeah. So I hope they explore that. What's so interesting is that this is going to be a series with these actual actors from the MCU.
I love it.
This is gonna be fun, man. This is gonna be really fun. I mean, Anthony Mackie, who plays Falcon, he's a great actor, and obviously we talked about him obviously from the Black Mirror episode. I won't go into that, Ryan. Sorry, I found a way to get into that, but I'm not going to.
Sure did.
But yeah, dude, like, he's a great actor, and so is Sebastian Stan as well. So for who plays Winter Soldier. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, sign me up, dude. I'm there.
Yeah, and I believe these are all, anything on the Disney Plus series, doesn't matter, this, Loki, whatever ones that are going to be actually playing. I believe 6 episodes is the max of what they're going to be giving us.
Yeah.
So,
dude, looks like they tagged on a writer from John Wick to be in this series. So that's pretty cool. We're going to get some good action sequences, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, and the main villain is supposed to be the actual main villain from actual, Civil War, which is, am I pronouncing Zemo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
And they
Nice.
did show that one little shot that I know has been plastered all over social media with him on the security film with the mask over his face,
Nice.
which is actually, showing what they've actually now filmed. And I don't know if that was a leaked picture or something that just got released, but that's been all over the place. So everybody's now seen him as confirmed as being that character. He's obviously picking up where he left off in Civil War, being that same character. So it'll be interesting to see what he's got up his sleeves to, make the show interesting. Because
So with this show, hopefully this is going to actually start to flesh into, what is the next group of Avengers going to kind of look like, and hopefully this show we kind of get our our answers and kind of see that get fleshed out a little bit.
yeah, because just because you've now been passed the shield to Captain America doesn't technically just mean you're just Captain America and you go out and you do your thing.
No, dude, you got to earn that shit.
Well, you don't only got to earn it, but you got to be the captain. You got to be running the team. So obviously, the Avengers are a much different team now. It's his new obligation to now assemble a new line of Avengers and get the team up and running. I believe that would fall more on his shoulders, since Captain America and Iron Man are no longer in the equation.
I don't know though. Does Falcon have or possess America's ass? I don't know. Or will he ever live up to that potential?
I don't think anybody can match Chris Evans' rendition of Captain America's ass, but he could try.
Oh yeah, he could try for sure.
He could try.
I definitely feel like this is going to be a coming of age kind of story for Falcon. We're clearly going to see him as just Falcon with the shield, trying to cope, I guess, with the idea that Captain America is not here anymore, and he's got to fill those shoes, so to speak. And I think he's going to put a lot of pressure on himself. I think it's going to be about him probably failing, trying to be who he's supposed to be, but then it's probably going to be like a figuring out how to be a Captain America in his own, not being the one that he thinks he's supposed to be, but just be who he is as Captain America.
Yeah, and that actually sounds like a speech that we're probably going to hear verbatim from Bucky. I bet you anything.
Definitely.
I could see him again struggling with taking on that responsibility, and Bucky being like, "Hey, as confident as you think Captain America or whatever Chris Evans' character was, like, he had doubts too. Like, you just got to make it your own." I think you're dead on, and I think that he's gonna come into his own. And then that'll kind of make way for what we're going to see kind of more moving into the future when he's actually in these movies going forward.
I hope that they actually take advantage of, since it is a series, that they actually take advantage of the fact that they have extra time now to actually flesh out some type of, some early becomings as far as like some type of origin for the Falcon. And yeah, I mean, obviously we saw that a little bit in the first Captain America, the first Avenger movie. We saw Bucky, early on, so we can kind of maybe fill in the gaps here and there, because obviously we learn more of what happened to him after that movie. So I'm hoping we get a little bit more backstory with Falcon. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that really would be nice. And then this is actually being directed by Carrie Scogland. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not, but she's actually the one who's responsible for the series The Handmaid's Tale. Which is
okay.
Dude, love that show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Oh, God, that show is fucking off the wall, man. It's really good.
Yeah, and she's made, obviously, because of it, a huge name for herself. And she was actually going to be directing all 6 of the series episodes. So, yeah, I mean, again.
Damn, that's reason. It? It's only going to be 6 episodes?
Well, that's what I was saying.
Interesting.
That's what I was saying. All the miniseries are all only 6 episodes long.
Okay, all right. That's not,
now, I don't know.
It's not too long, man.
No, and I don't know what the time frame is per episode. I don't know if it's an hour and 10, 52 minutes, 45 seconds.
Hey, Ryan, that's a season 8 of Game of Thrones right there. How do you feel about that?
Fuck Game of Thrones. Thank you. Actually, speaking of Game of Thrones, just to go on a tangent here, did you hear that the writers pulled out of Comic Con because of, I believe, they were just being that harassed and booed that they didn't actually want to get on stage, and they just decided to leave. And was that?
No, I feel like it was more. Dude, I do blame them. I think it's a total coward move, because they're going to be their next Comic Con or the one after that to talk about their next Star Wars project, and they literally just didn't face the music whatsoever. So I feel like it was kind of a coward's way out.
Nerds don't forget, man.
Nerds will not forget. If anything, leading into Star Wars, they have this much more pressure on them. So
they have a lot of pressure.
Yeah, dude.
Franchise.
So good luck, buddies. Good luck, because you guys just set your fucking selves up, put yourself on a fucking pedestal for nerds just to fucking have at it.
Yep, absolutely, man, absolutely. And then the guy who played Jaime Lannister, he did get up on stage, and he was again defending his exit as the character Jaime Lannister, and he was defending on how he was written out, and everybody was giving him the business too, and just jumping down his throat and booing him and everything else. So
that's the thing.
Fans.
At least he showed up, right? He faced the music. So like these directors obviously are like they're afraid. They're fucking afraid. Like that just sucks. Mm-hmm. I mean, that just goes to show that like there's some guilt there, I feel.
Yeah.
So
there is. There absolutely is.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fan event. There's security provided and whatnot. Like, you don't need to worry about, someone, making an act or whatever and trying to threaten you or whatever. Like, come on, man. Like, this is literally who you're appealing to. It's the fan base, and this is your chance to speak to them directly. And they missed out. They missed their shot, and I was actually I'm actually kind of really bothered by it, because for me, it's just a fucking terrible thing to do for the fans.
Yeah, total cop out. Total cop
out. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
So
fuck those guys.
Fuck those guys and whatever Star Wars shit they do.
Yeah.
Because they obviously prove that once they get off of source material, they can't write worth a shit. So good luck, boys.
Good luck, fuckers. All right. So done with that one. We're going to be moving on from the Falcon and Winter Soldier, unless you guys have anything else to touch base on.
I just want to do a quick shout out to Marvel for, from what I perceive as taking the fans' criticism and doing the villain again and giving him the mask, giving him the character that people were hoping for in Civil War, but they didn't get,
Totally, man. And Marvel's been great for that kind of fan service stuff, right? I mean, I don't think you can go on the street and ask any Marvel fans right now if they have any real complaints that Marvel has given us. I don't think you would have a lot of people jumping up to be like, yeah, I have this issue. You know what I mean?
So, I don't think people were outraged by it. I just, I saw, and I was a little disappointed myself that, you see such a character and then you don't see him in that, mask that you associate with the character. And it just kind of, it was disappointing, but like, you have to understand, MCU is doing its own thing. It's not. Exactly
so will they give us Wolverine in yellow spandex? Is it going to happen, Steve?
I think there might be at least a joke with that.
No, fuck that. Make it happen.
I bet
if
you
you can pull off the Spider-Man suit, how can you not pull off Wolverine? Come on.
I mean,
hopefully, we'll see.
Come on.
I don't know. I've seen a lot less good-looking people wearing yellow spandex to Comic Con than I have a fucking good-looking actor trying to put it on, and they looked pretty fucking cool. So,
dude, make it happen. This is Hollywood, okay?
Right?
This is where the magic can happen. So fucking make it happen.
Make it fucking happen.
I mean, it doesn't have to be bright ass yellow, okay? It can be like mustard yellow or something, whatever. Fuck.
Mustard.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't he originally like mustard yellow and like brown, the original Wolverine?
Yeah.
So
it was
yeah, the X-Men Wolverine became more of the black and yellow with the obviously the blue, utility belt or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Give me the yellow any day, man. I love that look.
And give all the money in the world for Hugh Jackman to come back and just be in the MCU.
I don't even want him in the MCU anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I say that because I'm just fucking... I love him. He's great.
Me too.
But, yeah, as more time goes on, I am totally digging this. What's the guy that we like?
That Tarragon Egerton?
Yeah, I'm totally, getting on board with that right now, and I hope that gets announced, in the next coming months.
Yeah. The more I think about that idea you had, I love it even more every time. It's...
Yeah.
He would definitely be a good Wolverine.
No, he is, right? And Ryan's right. Wolverine was never a tall figure whatsoever. It's more of a short, stocky, he's more wide than he is tall. So, give us that interpretation of the next time we see this character. But with anywho, let's go right into it, dude. So Falcon and Winter Soldier from fall takes us literally into the second movie, which honestly... literally, for me, launches Phase 4, and that's the Eternals.
Yep, and that is coming to us November 6, 2020.
Fuck yeah.
So I did a poll on Twitter, and a whole 4 people, I believe, responded thus far. But it was funny because, it doesn't really matter. If I have 4, topics that I was voting on saying, which movie are you most excited for?
Just lie to the people, dude. Say 400 people. You don't have to tell people our numbers. Shit.
I'm too honest, man. I'm too honest. Hey, we're building. That's all right. I'm not ashamed of anything. But I'm just saying, out of those 4, not one person voted for the Eternals movie. So
what does that say?
I don't know if that's people just not knowing so much about it that they're just
nobody who. Okay, so here's the thing. I mean, fanboys are only really going to know about the Eternals, right? So. Yeah. Anyone that's obviously grown and fallen in love with Marvel in the past 10, 15 years is not going to know fucking shit about the Eternals. More or less how they knew nothing about Guardians of the Galaxy prior. So, yeah. I mean, for me... I myself, 6 months ago had to start researching what the Eternals were because so this is actually a full-blown comic series that is not actually created by Stan Lee. It's solely created by Jack Kirby. And this is full Jack Kirby. And this is awesome. So for me, this is going to hopefully go over the early Celestials actually creating life on Earth, and I think there's 3 different races, right? The Deviants, the Humans, and then the Eternals. So, obviously we've kind of already learned from Infinity War that Thanos was, born from, one of his parents is an Eternal. So, yeah, hopefully we get some backstory there. But this is a fresh, new, line as far as, being pulled from the comics. And I'm really excited for this one. Brian, have at it. Let's go over this cast because it's fucking balls deep, bro. It's balls deep.
Balls deep. Balls deep. As a matter of fact, even if you didn't know what this movie was, I feel like the second people would see all these actors and actresses together, they'd be like, you know what? I feel like I gotta go see this.
Yeah, actually, absolutely.
In my head, I see Angelina Jolie. I see Richard Madden, who, if anybody doesn't know him by name, obviously he
Robb
was
Stark.
Mr. Robb Stark in Game of Thrones. God, I hate referring to Game of Thrones. Fuck you. All right, so Kumail Nanjiani, who we just actually talked about last week.
Dude, did you see him on stage? He's already had the fucking Marvel like workout regimen like enthralled on him or something. He's
Okay. I didn't imagine that then. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I was
Dude,
like, has he always been this buff?
He has a chest, like pecs, fucking arms. He had a V shape. Like what the fuck? Like when he was talking with his hands,
he did not look like that. I swear.
Yeah, right. So I was like actually rewatching that
too much.
Yeah, I was rewatching that Stuber trailer just to verify it. I'm like, no, dude, he's never looked like this whatsoever. He had a very a plain frame, and and that was it. And yeah, man, this guy got fucking ripped for this. So this is exciting.
Yeah, and gosh darn it, man, when people do that, I just respect them so much more for diving that hardcore into any character.
Committed to the craft, Ryan. That's what they are. Just committed to the craft.
Yeah, man, I fucking love that. And he's such a great actor, and to see him now, in this role, I have to imagine again, like I've always said, Marvel always throws a healthy amount of humor in there. And him being a comedian, we're gonna get him with some funny lines, 100%. And I'm excited to see how they go about doing that. It's gonna be very interesting to see the dynamic between all the characters. Being all these big name actors, but also just seeing how they introduce the Marvel characters to us as the audience. It's going to be really a lot of fun. Going forward, we have Salma Hayek, Hayek.
Salma Hayek, who this is the biggest wild card for me, because for me, I don't think she's that powerful of an actress as far as being in the other roles. I mean, yes, she plays off being a Hispanic actress, which is great. So I hope they play to her strengths in this movie. That's why they casted her. And I hope they play with that humor a little bit, because for me, I hope her role is not to be completely taken serious. I hope there is like some good humor in her character, which I really hope so.
Yeah, me too. And like you said, I mean, everything I've really seen her in, she kind of plays the either really ditzy character that just
kind of
adds
the same.
A little bit of humor.
Yeah.
But never really, other than, I mean, gosh, what was that movie she was in that was like Frida? Is that it?
Yeah, that's like the one she was nominated for. She might have won, I'm not sure, but yeah, she was definitely nominated for Academy Award.
Yeah, it was the one role that I can just think of at the top of my head, honestly.
Which is totally playing to her strengths. Right?
Totally.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. So anyway, regardless, just going down the list, we have Brian Tyree Henry, we have Dong Ma, Lauren Ridloff. I mean, again, if you don't know who these characters are, all you have to do is go on IMDb, look at their faces, and you will know who they are.
Yeah. and another...
Again, it's a big cast, man.
It's a huge cast. Huge cast, and another female director, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. So cool.
Yeah.
So cool, man. Go for it, Steve.
I was going to say, they actually took 3 characters, too, and they gender swapped them. So the...
Oh, shit, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Salma Hayek's character was gender swapped.
That's pretty cool.
I had no idea about that at all.
Yeah, I actually like that. That's refreshing.
Lauren Ridloff, the deaf woman.
Oh, okay.
Which, that in itself is like a great thing. She's going to be the first deaf character for the MCU.
No, that's cool.
But yeah,
that's right. She's actually featured in Walking Dead. She's in Walking Dead, and she is also. she's literally a deaf actress, I believe, and
she must be on the newer season, because I don't recognize her from the show.
Yeah, she's on this last season, and
okay.
you talk about communicating through sign language while there's zombies running around. That really adds a different level of tension to the scenes that she is in. So they actually they film that stuff pretty good. So yeah, she's a great actress. So that's okay. Really cool. And then they also have in this movie some young actress, which I think she's a first time actress.
The third gender swapped character, Leah McHugh, which she looks very familiar, but I can't figure out what I feel like I've seen her in.
I think this is like her debut, dude. Like I don't think she's
she must just have that face then. I don't know.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is going to be great, dude. It's a fresh, new series. It's literally introducing a wide palette of new characters, and I'm super stoked for it. And, yeah, dude, it's, a year from this November, so it's going to be coming pretty fast. I know it's over a year out, but I'm sure we'll be seeing trailers for this, no later than Super Bowl time. So, yeah.
I definitely think this is going to be the movie that's going to have a huge impact on the future for the MCU. I feel like there's going to be a scope that we might not see it within this movie, but it's going to have drastic changes.
So the thing is too, like, I hope this is almost like a, I hope this movie does do some time jumping. They are Eternals, like they've been around forever, so to speak. So I hope you're right. I hope they actually do set up, how these characters are potentially going to be in future films.
Yeah, I definitely want to see how they do that, because from what I understand, so they're creators and protectors of Earth, or
yeah, I mean,
I'm not fully aware of the Eternals' backstory. I just know the characters generally.
Well, like I was saying, these Celestials is what obviously are like the gods that created all cosmic like energies it became possible for living things to actually consume superpowers. And that comes from the Celestials, but in that they created 3 different species, I guess you want to say, and that was like the Deviants, the humans, and then the Eternals. So hopefully, I don't know what path they're going to go with the film, but hopefully they obviously address that origin of honestly, it's like the creation of Earth, right? Like, the Earth was built in 7 days, whatever you hear in any mythos, right? So. Hopefully they cover that as far as the early part of the film, and then they just kind of do maybe how it has some great humor cut as far as like what Guardians does with their material. Because for me, like I hope they approach this film where it doesn't take itself ultra seriously, and I hope they actually they definitely break the the super serious stuff with some good humor along the way, because that Guardians formula, man, how that translated to fucking Thor and like completely like changed that Ragnarok movie altogether. Like that was just a great segue into like how to take these characters that aren't actually Earth-based heroes. It literally like it just opened it up to being like, oh man, like I feel like this just now appeals to a way wider audience as opposed to just being us nerds just geeking out about aliens. So yeah.
And that comedy alone saved Thor's image in the MCU.
It really did. I mean, the Thor: The Dark World did not do very well at the box office, and was not really, for me, it's honestly one of the weaker Marvel movies by far. So, what a flip of the switch, or what a turnaround, or what a 180, Ragnarok was for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the MCU space has definitely been tied to their comedy for sure. I mean, they all have comedy, but it seems like the space specific movies are just dead on meant to be comedies.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job at it. They really are.
It just makes the material more tolerable, man. I mean, that's what it does for me. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which is refreshing, and like the humor actually helps you re-engage with the content, because it's like, oh shit, this is actually really funny. I'm going to pay attention now more. That's great. Versus if you just keep drifting off on lore and getting super serious, at some point I'm going to fall asleep.
But look at their comedy too, the way they do it. It's not just like, oh, this is a sad story. A matter of fact, the part I'm actually referring to is when Thor is discussing everything with Rocket. And he's going through everything, going like, oh, well, what about your family? He's like, oh, my brother's dead. My best friend was killed. Like, it's all these horrible, sad events. Yeah. But the way that he's presenting it, and then Rocket's reaction to it, and he's kind of scratching his head, going like, oh, okay, well, that's not good. Like just that alone, like, added that comedy element in a very sad, depressing scene. So it's not like in-your-face slapstick. It's like kind of witty, clever, behind-the-scene, like, comic. That I just think one is unique and just perfect for all those situations, because it gets you across what you need for the serious information, but still gives it a little lightheartedness with bringing in that comedy, which is really, really refreshing and nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the exact scene I was referencing last week, and that's a perfect example. They make you sad with that conversation, and then instantly they make you laugh right after.
Yep.
He goes, what if you're wrong? Well, what else do I have to lose? Walks away. What does Raccoon do?
That's my life motto.
He has a smart ass comment. He goes, well, I could lose a lot.
That's right.
Personally, I have a lot to lose. Just like it's gold.
It is. It's perfect, and like that's my motto for sure. Like nothing is so fucking serious that you just can't help but laugh at it at some point. So I love that they have that approach for these films.
I laugh at
great.
myself constantly.
Yeah, exactly.
And not because I'm funny, it's just because I do stupid shit, and then I'm like, wow, that was real dumb.
Yeah, like fucking...
Like John
have an
Clancy.
Yeah, like have an altercation with someone from your work while driving.
At high speeds.
At high speed, too. Fuck you, Dale. Fuck you.
Fuck you, Dale.
All right, dude. So that's it. Eternals. That's gonna take us through 2020, and
that is our last now TV series / movies of Marvel within 2020, and then that jumps us right into 2021, February 12th. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
God, it's crazy that they actually have fucking dates for this shit already. Like,
I know.
are they really gonna hit this shit? Like, I would just say February because you never know. Things change.
It'll change. I mean,
Yeah.
he, Feige's even said, like, these are ideal dates,
Yeah.
but you never know. Things can be flipped around. They could add something.
That just goes to show you how much shit how better prepared they are as far as like they've had a roadmap in place for like maybe probably the past 5 years to get to
easily.
this point, because you know how much planning has to be involved to like get this shit fleshed out. Because when you looked at that chart that they showed, that timeline, like they're literally not missing any more than like 3-4 months in between like the next release.
And a majority of
fucking
these have
awesome.
already started within pre-production already.
Yeah, which is crazy, man. It's absolutely nuts. Mm-hmm. But Ryan, dude, how fucking pumped are you, dude? Like, you've been talking
my
about
God.
this fucking character for fucking ever, I feel.
So long, right? So we did an entire podcast really early on. I don't even remember what number. But we did a large segment.
Episode 1? No, just kidding. Hi, my name's Ryan. This is What's the Focus podcast, and I'm really interested in this character named Shang-Chi. I really hope they do an adaptation one day.
More like this, like I referred to. Hi, this is Ryan Kerrigan. I'm just trying to be quiet so I don't wake up my son. But we're gonna be talking
There
about
it
the
is.
new Star Wars trailer.
Yeah. Rise of the Skywalker.
oh
Or
my
is it
gosh.
the death of a Skywalker? We'll see. Stay
It's
tuned.
actually really funny and actually fun for me to go back and listen to those. and see
Dude, it's so fun.
Already, from where it started to where it is now is a lot of fun.
It's true,
obviously,
man.
Much improved.
Practice makes perfect. We're doing great.
Well,
But,
and
yes.
a very knowledgeable co-host, may I say. Not to toot your horn.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that.
but- yeah, man,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, so Shang-Chi, like you said, something I am very excited about, is being directed by Destin Creighton. We just now, the big news and reveal, I would say, from San Diego Comic Con, other than who the character is, who we did the breakdown for within the comic books, is who we got actually casted for these roles. We
Yeah,
don't
and
have everybody, but we do have Shang-Chi being the main character, which is Simu Liu. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's. I think it's Lou. It's definitely Lou.
Lou,
Simu
okay.
Liu.
Okay, so I don't mean to butcher these names. It's just unfortunately one of my very strong weaknesses is pronunciations of names. So
You're doing a great job, man. You're doing a great job.
doing a podcast, I guess that's a huge deal with not being able to pronunciate. But
I'm going out on a whim here, dude. I'm going out on a whim. I think it's what's his name? Simon Silu Fu. I don't know. No, I think you nailed it, dude. I think it's Simu Liu. Yeah.
Simu Liu, okay. Yeah,
Simu Liu.
so that is our Shang-Chi, which is exciting. I was a little disappointed that it wasn't, some other characters I had in mind. just
Lance
because
from Striking Vipers X. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but honestly, yeah, he was definitely one of them. He was definitely
yeah.
one of them. And I believe, like we said, he was in the... was he in
Donnie
the
Yen, too.
Power Rangers
Donnie-
movie?
He might have been. Was he Zach? He wasn't.
I think
Zach,
he was
was he?
I think he was the Black Ranger.
Okay, so he was Zach. You sure?
I think so.
Shut up.
I'm not seeing it on his.
I'm not
IMDb.
seeing.
No?
I don't.
Different guy?
I think he's just a martial arts actor. And that's it.
I think the reason why I'm getting that confused is because he was a runner-up for Shang-Chi as well.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So regardless, it was just an actor that I'm not familiar with. I mean, when I look at...
Hey, this is fine, dude. They're going. They're literally bringing in new talent here. Like you don't.
It looks
always,
like he's done a lot of TV.
Ton
Yeah,
of
he's
it.
done a lot of TV. Hey, he was off. He was on Fresh Off the Boat. That's a funny ass
And
TV series.
I guess I don't know. I might have my details wrong, but from what I understand, like years ago, he like tweeted to Marvel about wanting to do this character, or
And they
just
just
a
answered
role,
him.
or just a role to represent, the ethnicity. And I don't know.
that's cool. I mean, that's
He kept
cool.
like putting like tweet jokes in there, and then this was like a big reveal thing, obviously. And so like he like even like went back and like made another joke about how he was cast or something. I don't know, but he had fun with it, I guess. And so
the surprise that I don't want to spoil to the end, but Mr. Mahershala. Yeah.
You already
We'll
spoiled
get to
it.
that. I already spoiled it. But yeah, dude, this I actually liked it that this is a nobody. I mean, not a nobody, but mainstream
Ooh,
audience
harsh.
doesn't know who this is. I don't know who this is. Like, he's from TV. That's great, dude. Like, this is the first like TV actor that's going to be portraying a huge Marvel character in a feature film.
Yeah.
This is taking a chance, and I like that they're doing that. Yeah, dude. Like you were saying, like, who was also listed for this? Was it Donnie Yen as well? But he's a little bit older. So
he's older, and it wasn't confirmed
Yeah.
if he was going for the Shang-Chi role or just somebody within the movie itself. And to be honest, if you look up actually who's in this movie, I don't think you're actually going to see more than maybe 3 or 4 characters that have been now confirmed attached to the film. So there is a slight chance that he
Just
could
have
be
2, right?
kind of a surprise showing. Who knows?
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, it could happen. I mean, this movie is not going to come out for at this point, almost a year and a half. So, yeah, a lot can happen. So you said this is in pre-production?
I believe so. I believe a lot of these are in pre-production now, but that also,
Okay.
maybe I was reading that was more of the 2020. Regardless, if it's not in pre-production now, I would have to say by the beginning of New Year. I mean, movies
Yeah.
take obviously a very long time to get going, and if it's coming out 2021, they got to get a move on pretty
Yeah.
soon.
Yep, they're probably going to start
Now, this
filming this by
character
the end of the year.
itself, yeah, the character itself, I love. I think that just his all-around story is just fucking awesome and very, very cool and different. Early on within his character development, he is not a superhuman. He is just an expert martial artist, which, again, it's kind of like why people like Batman. When they're like, "Oh, I like Batman because he's just a regular guy." He learned martial arts. He learned how to fight. He learned the art of whatever from Ra's al Ghul. All these reasons, and that's what he is. Later down the line, he actually develops actual powers where he can manipulate himself and actually multiply his body.
Ooh, like Doctor Strange? That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly like that. And so that part's cool. But the more important part, gentlemen, that I was super pumped that we found out is the actual villain in this. And did you see who this is?
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah,
Mandarin,
yeah.
baby.
The real Mandarin.
And not the shitty fake
Yeah.
version we got from
Stop!
Iron Man 3.
Sir Ben Kingsley is a great actor.
He's a great actor, but that was very disappointing because I honestly thought if they would have taken that seriously with Ben Kingsley, he would have made an awesome Mandarin.
Yeah, that's true. But
I think if he dove into it and he wasn't just, playing
that was
the
a good
actor,
twist, though, for Iron Man 3, right? Like, he was a total,
It was,
decoy.
and it
That was a good
wasn't.
twist. Like,
It was, and it was.
yeah, it's true. I mean, it's definitely one of the weaker villains as far as an Iron Man movie. But, it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
it was definitely like
It's in
an
the past.
older Batman feel with throwing a lot of villain-esque characters in there that just kind of
yeah.
took the spotlight but didn't really have a whole lot of plot to them.
Dude, so Awkwafina is casted in this as well. So this
Yes.
movie's going to have some great humor as well. I mean, I don't know if you saw Crazy Rich Asians. Fucking, she's hilarious in that movie.
I have not seen that, but I've only heard good things.
Yeah, it's a great movie. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I've only
this
seen
is-
her in,
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
Ocean's
really
8.
fun. Yeah, she was pretty good in that too. I actually really enjoyed that movie. Did you guys like that movie?
Yeah, it was fine.
I
Yeah.
did not actually see it.
It was
It was-
on par with the other ones, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah, I honestly thought it was probably better than not the original, but probably better than Ocean's 12. I don't know. Still have not seen Ocean's 13. So yeah, but hey, man,
it's the same movie.
yeah, right. So it is what it is. It's more or less Hollywood just cashing in on the cash cow, and just that's it. But yeah, dude, Awkwafina, she's fucking hilarious. So I like
Yeah,
that they
good.
got someone leading some type of like humor role as far as being in this film, because
Yeah, and on IMDb, she's leading the character, the cast list. She's the, obviously, I don't know if it's going alphabetical order, but I mean,
it's It's
They're letting her
sorted.
be-
It says, man, sorted by IMDb Star Meter, and let's be
There you
honest,
go.
she's got more cred than Simu Liu at this point. So
Well, that's what I mean. That's really cool. I love that.
yeah, totally.
I love that. And I don't want anybody to actually just assume, like, I don't want to assume that everybody knows who the Mandarin is. So if anybody doesn't, and I'm really not going into it, this is literally a sentence, but the Mandarin is a powerful, mysterious, and influential terrorist figure and warlord who serves as the leader of the Ten Rings. I'm not going to go into any more than that. If you guys want to touch base on it, fine. But I just think that he's going to be a great villain to go up against.
Does that have any affiliation with the Hand from the Iron Fist series, or no? Not related whatsoever.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think there's any relation.
Okay, because I hope that maybe by the end of this movie there is some type of tie or maybe some sneak to getting an MCU version of Iron Fist, because it did not. I mean, the Netflix series did not do it justice whatsoever.
Oh,
They'll probably give it a little bit of time, but I'm sure they'll bring those characters in.
Yeah.
As, as our
Yeah.
ending surprise is, they're not afraid to go there, it seems. So,
Yeah, no, I hope so for sure. So directing this movie too was Destin Daniel Cretton, also a Asian director, which is really awesome to see as well. It seems like he has a lot of TV experience, so it seems like Marvel's taking more of a chance as far as having some bringing in some new cred, like some new talent, which is this is going to be interesting. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, and even though he's done a lot more TV than anything else, I mean, he's worked with some already big name actors and actresses himself. So, I believe just from that and that experience alone, I have to think he knows what he's doing. And now it is confirmed. Yes, this is very much in pre-production.
Nice. So in the coming months or whatever, we're probably going to hear some more casting additions. So, yeah, that leaves us with February. We get Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yes,
and what
sir.
the fuck is next?
Is the Mandarin more heavily associated with Shang-Chi? Or because I've only really known him from Iron Man as a villain to Iron Man. Like, I haven't really...
I mean, I honestly feel like he's some international, villain that kind of can touch, crossover with a bunch of different storylines. So,
yeah,
for me, this is, if they say this is the real Mandarin, we'll see what they actually have as far as unfolding, an actual, this is going to be the real version of him. So, from what I remember from Ben Kingsley, he was a leader. He was literally like a Bin Laden type character, right? Mm-hmm. So it was like leader of a terrorist group. So that's what I'm thinking. More or less happens with this rendition.
Yeah, but listen to this real quick. This is just on the comic book, so again, this can go in any direction, but it says, the Mandarin is portrayed as a genius scientist and a superhumanly skilled martial artist. However, his primary source of power are the 10 rings that he adapted from alien technology of a crashed spaceship. Each ring has a different power and is worn on a specific finger.
So what spaceship did that come off of, Ryan? Thanos' ship? What are you thinking, huh? Maybe who? Huh? Ooh, yeah. Ooh,
well, it's a question of, is this going to be based after Endgame, or is it going to be based
it's got to be
before?
Post. It's got to be post.
Because it could technically be like they did with the first Spider-Man, where
it could.
The New York battle, because Iron Man 3 took place after.
Yep. I love that, by the way, how literal Homecoming led into the events of after Avengers, which was awesome.
Not a huge fan if they do that, man. Gotta be honest with you.
Really?
I don't want to live in the past
It
anymore.
would be tying it in
forward.
too much, like the
So, you feel like the whole, okay, we've already gone through the whole fate of the world type of, story, so, it would be a bummer to know that Shang-Chi was around and he never could have, contributed
well, that's the big question
to,
I have
the
for
events.
this movie.
Yeah.
Is he going to be an origin story for this, or is it going to be, he's been around and this is just his story?
No fucking idea, dude.
Yeah,
they have not even fucking
I'm
gone that far.
I'm just
for me,
asking,
yeah, I hope they go over the
curiosity,
origin.
what you guys think. Not so much I need an answer.
No, dude, I want an answer today, dude. I want an origin, I want a background, I want the full bio, I want to see him, go through, that full character arc to where, I want to see him set up by the end of this movie to be ready in line to be a part of the next line of Avengers. So yeah, I hope they, however they go as far as the plot of this film, I hope it actually leads into having this character, that we're going to see him in future roles. So we'll see.
I'm calling it now. They're doubling down on Kingsley, and he's gonna be at least a cameo in this movie.
Dude, that'd be pretty good.
Well, no, they had the one shot where
they just fucking CG him.
They announced the Mandarin was a real character, and that he wasn't happy with him portraying him, and like whatever they broke him out of prison or whatever. Like that whole little short, everyone was like, "Well, does this mean that he's in the MCU or he's not?" It was up in the air. So it's really nice to see that they're actually going this route. And yes, he is real. The Mandarin is a villain.
He's real, folks. He's real, and he's coming February 12th, 2021.
And in the Ten Rings organization, like that, they've been sprinkled throughout the MCU already. Like you see Easter eggs throughout different movies of their symbol.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, hopefully, like, some of these TV shows have some type of, like, fucking end credit, whatever you want to call it, that kind of alludes to what we're going to see as far as, oh, man, did you watch the latest episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier? Like, there's totally a snippet that leads into Shang-Chi or whatever. And, like, you're like, oh, like, they totally touch base on, the Ten Rings or whatever. Like, I hope there's some connection. I honestly feel like they're smart enough to do that type of stuff. Because that's just going to create more, user or watchers actually, transitioning from series to series, and just going to get more people hooked, which is literally what they want.
Yeah, I want to say, like, I think it was Ant-Man, the first one. I want to say there was like in like one of the later scenes in the heist area where they showed like a anonymous criminal guy shooting a gun, and they show the logo on the gun, I believe, or on his hand or something like that.
No, you're right. I actually heard rumors of this in an article that in some MCU movie, and maybe it is Ant-Man, that there is some mention of the Ten Rings. So you're onto something.
Because I feel like they focused on that. And I was like, I wonder what that's going to be. But then like you just never heard anything of it after that.
Yeah, I think it was Kevin Feige. I think it was Kevin Feige that said that mentioned that. So, yeah. So we'll see, man. I mean, this is gonna be a fun movie, and it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. I mean, it's gonna be relatively soon. It's around Valentine's Day, so yeah, that'll be fun.
Again, another character I'm not familiar with, but definitely intrigued.
Great,
definitely want to see what they do.
Like, this is it, dude. So Marvel has established itself as far as its like core heroes. Like, that is great as far as being in live action film. Now let's start to see all these other characters that we love about that. I don't even want to call them like, B heroes and this and that, but like the encyclopedia goes on and on as far as how big this universe is. And this is it, man. Like, this is like the next 20, 30 years, like we're going to get a lot more as far as seeing like different iterations of different storylines and all these different characters. So I'm fucking psyched, dude. We're lucky to be alive right now. This is great.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is literally history in the making. I mean, people generations to come are going to watch that Infinity Saga, and then they're going to watch this, and this is our time, right? So this is amazing to be, like you said, alive during all of this.
Yeah.
I will admit,
60 years from now, this is like Infinity War is going to be the Citizen Kane for like kids, like 60 years from now, right? Like that's going to be that's the movie. That's the movie that they reference.
Casablanca.
Yeah, exactly.
I will admit, though, I'm a little sad that, like, we won't be seeing characters interact with these future characters within big plot points, that they adapt from the comics that you would have wanted to see. You're just not going to, because they're either, gone because they passed away, or they just moved on from that character. Like, it sucks, but
here's an idea,
specifically
Steve.
X-Men, you're not going to ever see them interact with Iron Man or Cap. It sucks in that sense. But
well, here's an idea, Steve, and I'm going to go to our rivals, I guess, for Marvel. I actually like what DC is doing by doing multiple universe films, and like how they're approaching that Joker film, because who knows, man? You might actually see another rendition of Iron Man someday, maybe 5-10 years from now. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
So it's totally possible.
I mean, they could go as clever as
Yeah.
same name, same job, same everything, and
Dude,
just
totally.
a different actor, right?
All they got to do is classify, like, this is just how they do in the comic line series. Like, they will have a comic line, they will end it, and then they will start another one, and that is it. Like, that is literally what is canon to that specific comic line. So they could totally do that in film as well. They just haven't established that yet, and I feel like DC's kind of touching that ground early on with having these like spin-off films, or not even spin-off, but multi-universe films where this is just in a separate universe. You're going to see Joker in a separate universe of what you've seen from the Suicide Squad movies that obviously touches base of the DC universe stuff. So we're just going to go, we're going to separate it, and we're going to separate our content and move forward from there. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of flexibility in that.
Yeah, they opened up all of that.
I would not be shocked if they take the multiverse concept and they make it like essentially like the Avengers platform.
Dude, Spideyverse
these
proved
different
that,
universes
Yeah.
are their own franchises,
Yep.
and then they come together for
Yep.
the big event.
Yep, Spideyverse proved that shit, dude. Like, it was so cool.
Shattered
that
dimensions, something like that,
Exactly. Like, having different dimensions of different versions of Peter Parker was like... I mean, at first you're like, wait, where are they going with it? Oh, this is actually pretty cool, because now I'm actually interested in, like, the story path of, like, this version of Peter Parker versus this one. And it's like, it just opens up the character to a multitude of different possibilities, which is pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Fucking awesome, man. So what the fuck is next? What do we got? What do you got, Ryan?
All right, we're breaking out of movies. We're going back into the Disney Plus series here, WandaVision, which I think,
Great
in my
title.
opinion, is one of the most...
Very clever.
Yeah, well, no.
No?
Why not? Why not? It's kind of like I Dream of Jeannie, but like in the modern age, I guess.
Well, given the time period it's supposed to take place in, I mean, it kind of works, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Whatever,
I
dude.
don't know. I just
Wanda,
feel like
Scarlet
he could have
Witch, and
gotten
Vision.
a
sidekick.
little more. I don't know. Regardless. So,
Here's a big
WandaVision-
question for you: are they gonna fuck? Because
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
is that gonna happen?
There's clearly going to be cyber sex.
There's gonna be cyber sex. There has to be. Like Vision's gonna load up he's gonna load up a chat room, and Wanda's
They're
gonna
going to
log
drop
in.
an episode on Pornhub.
Yeah, and they're just gonna exactly. It's just a direct load to Pornhub.
It's going to be like The Matrix. He's not going to know how to do it. And he's
Disney
gonna, until he
Plus
plugs
buys
in.
Pornhub.
And he's going to be
man.
like, I know how to have sex.
Yes.
It's going to be exactly what it is.
Don't worry, I've already watched about 1,300 videos. I know completely how to do this.
Fucking
Oh,
nasty
man.
Vision. Nasty Vision.
Nasty.
So, this one, I think, out of any of them, for me, has, like, the most questions. Right? I mean, from where we saw Vision, from where he left off in Infinity War, obviously Thanos ripped the stone after he rewound time and ripped the stone straight out of his head. And then there we saw his very lively gray skin toned body.
His lifeless android body.
Yeah, which was interesting too, because obviously if you do know the comic books or anything about Vision, there is a time where he is gray. He looks like that. And he doesn't have color to him. I mean, that's one of his appearances actually in the comic book. So
what's the timepiece here? Like, what is this? Where does this take place?
So this is definitely in the future, because the characters that I was actually just going to bring up, we're going to see actually Monica Rambeau. So that is the daughter that we saw actually in Captain Marvel, and she is all grown up. She's a grown up. She's a total freaking adult now. So
Nice.
within that, I mean, I don't know her exact age of what she was in Captain Marvel. I would say no more than 7, 8 years old. 8,
Damn,
maybe,
dude.
maybe.
Yeah, she was around that.
Okay,
I didn't
maybe
even-
10.
That was late 90s.
Yeah, I didn't even
So that
I
would
didn't
put her
even know
about-
that she plays the second Captain Marvel. That's cool.
Yeah, so she's obviously a little girl playing her at the time, and now that character being an adult playing by Teyona Paris is the actress's name. Where is she from? Does anybody know? I feel like she was in something
idea.
big.
No idea. Don't even bother. Keep going.
Don't even bother. Wow,
Don't even bother.
Giving her the respect to give her.
No, hey, we're not there yet. She's not listening to this podcast.
Nah,
it's okay.
man. She was in Mad Men. She was in 90 Days. She was in Placeholders, Survivor's Remorse, Empire. She's been in a lot of TV.
Was she the assistant in Mad Men?
Just kidding.
So in Mad Men, she actually played the what was her character? Dawn Chambers.
Wait, what? No, Don Chambers is fucking John Hamm's character.
Then why is it loaded with her saying Dawn Chambers?
Because IMDb is wrong. Right,
Well-
Steve? Isn't Don Chambers fucking John Hamm?
I didn't think his name was. No, that's wrong.
What's his
dude.
name? What's his name?
No, his
Totally
name's...
wrong, bro.
Really?
Yeah, John
No.
Hamm's character is not fucking.
I'm blanking on what his name
No,
is.
his
but
name's
Don Draper.
Dummy.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
pretty
knew it was
fucking
Don, but I
close,
was like,
buddy.
That
Pretty
name doesn't
close.
sound right, though.
You know
Okay,
what?
I was gonna say make
half
me feel
the
like an ass.
half the audience who hasn't even seen that show would totally agree with me. Just saying.
I want to say she was like his assistant or something for a season, or I don't know.
Okay,
All right.
Regardless,
It doesn't matter.
That's really what's giving us at least the indication of
Yeah.
where the time is going to be.
We're
right?
not in the past.
I'm really glad we sorted that out. I feel like it really brought a lot to this segment. I'm just saying. So
I'm glad for
it's
your
really
own
good.
knowledge that you
We
didn't think a female
inspired-
was Don
Yeah.
Draper.
We inspired listeners to go Google it because now they want to know.
Oh my god.
I'm happy on a personal level. I can give two fucks about who's listening. I'm just wanting to know who that was.
You know, Elizabeth Moss is also in that series as well, and she's in Handmaid's Tale, and she does a terrific job. But she's also a Scientologist, so there's that.
Yeah, there's that too, but that's for another podcast because I have a lot to say about that too.
When are we starting the Scientology podcast, by the way?
Oh Jesus!
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a whole separate spin-off series on Scientology. Not.
No, I don't feel like being attacked.
Yeah, I don't want to have to disconnect from any of my family members, so I'm good.
Yeah, no thanks. So in the Marvel Comics, by the way, speaking of the character Monica Rambeau, she was actually the second Captain Marvel and also operated under the alias Photon, Pulsar, or Spectrum. So going forward within just her journey through the MCU, there is a potential that she's going to be taking on some kind of power and joining up being a superhero right along everybody else, which is kind of cool. And they did hint that kind of a little bit within Captain Marvel. So to kind of see them now play off of that and kind of go forward with it is kind of neat, which I really, really enjoy. It's kind of a fun thing. But the biggest question is, how are they going to bring back Vision? What's your best guess, Mike? Do you think the time jump where everything kind of got re-snapped took care of it?
Well, what's her face? What's her name from Wakanda?
Shuri.
Shuri. So
no, Suri's on your iPhone.
no, I said Suri. I didn't say Siri. So yeah, get that
I
right.
was making a joke, Dick.
I'm sorry, I took your moment. Fuck. All right,
Took it.
so. Yeah, no, right. So, Shuri, I actually think, I'm honestly wondering if she got enough data when she was downloading his mind that maybe they're able to bring him back to some extent, and that's okay with, what's-her-face, Elizabeth Olsen's character, Scarlet Witch. So, yeah, hopefully, I don't know, hopefully there's something as far as that goes, because why did they spend so much time in Infinity War trying to save him if it wasn't going to mean something later? So, I feel like a lot of these, a lot of what was done in previous Marvel movies, they might actually, I don't want to say they're going to retcon some of this stuff, but they could totally pull from things that happened in the other films. And hey, man, these are superheroes, so some things are possibly at play that can totally be be brought forth again. So, yeah, I am honestly wondering if we get maybe an intro into that. So maybe that's what happens.
Yeah, I mean, logically, too. I mean, look at the people who could have built him, being Tony Stark, Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
And at the time, that was it.
So, I mean, here's the thing. You want to take a very, basic approach as far as, an analytical approach as far as, Vision was built off of both AIs of Ultron and fucking Jarvis, right? So...
Yep.
He was combined of the two most powerful AI systems. You mean to tell me there wasn't a fucking backup for that shit. Like, you didn't have a backup on the cloud. This is Tony fucking Stark we're talking about, right? So
There was an external hard drive somewhere.
exactly. So yeah, he might not have the fucking Mind Stone or whatever, but maybe he does, have the actual AI intelligence to be, created into a, another android. And now we're seeing the Vision without a fucking Mind Stone in his head, So yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
which there's a lot to play
a lot
with.
of other, just differences within the character. I mean, I feel like the Mind Stone for Vision was very much his image, right? I mean, everybody looked at him as the carrier of the stone. And
Yeah,
with
totally.
that, he also had all of his powers that we actually saw within controlling the stone and, shooting, beams of, whatever the fuck that was. And we saw that many
Yeah.
times, right? So,
I mean,
it'll be interesting to see how far his powers can go without it and see, how much that stone was actually contributing towards that. That's something I've been wanting to see for a while now.
And when Bruce Banner and Tony Stark definitely made, this, obviously what is Vision, what we saw in the MCU, like I was saying, like, they absolutely probably had a fallback plan because they took a risk in making Vision. They didn't know if it was going to pan out. So, like, they obviously have, the, whatever you want to say, the firmware version of what is the first iteration of Vision so that they have that backed up so that they could totally, have a backup plan to, just restart or reformat a hard drive, so to speak. So, who knows? I mean, I'm sure they'll get creative with it. I mean, this is Tony Stark, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure that he's actually going to be there in this show. I think it's going to be more of a
Who?
she's Vision.
Oh, he's going to be there. He's totally going to be there. They've already
No,
listed
I mean,
that.
like, I don't.
They've already listed that he's going to be in it. They just don't know how he's going to be revived. But like it says, there's a little snippet here just
So
saying
it's official that he will physically be back as the character. It's not going to be like her.
Quote unquote, there's a snippet here that says, so it's not clear how Vision, who was killed in Infinity War, will be revived, but if Tony Stark and friends can bring back half of life in the universe, Marvel will surely find a way. So, that's just from one article, but yeah, dude,
I don't know.
We'll see.
I took the whole title, WandaVision, all this stuff, kind of like she's trying to deal and cope with losing him and makes this whole fantasy.
Well, he's in it because Paul Bettany is in it. So you're thinking he's just in flashback scenes? Is that what you're thinking?
Not necessarily flashback, but like she's just kind of like using her powers, whether it be consciously or subconsciously, to like kind of like fill that void with his memory.
Does she have that ability?
With him.
Does she have that ability?
Well, they did say that her and him were connected.
This is supposed to be how she gets to the point of the Scarlet Witch that we know from what I've read.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing, too. This is another character that didn't fully get fleshed out as far as backstory. I hope they do that as well in this show to kind of, give her some sense of origin to, I mean, so like I was telling you, Ryan, early on, in our X-Men podcast that, originally in the OG timeline, like Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, those two twins are actually, their father is Magneto. So there's no fucking mention of that whatsoever in the MCU. Wow, what a great way to actually start introducing X-Men if they go that route with this movie.
They'll do that.
Or this series. Yeah, right? So who knows? Who knows?
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they go the House of M route, but like flip it where maybe she, through her mental breakdown, creates mutants. Like I who knows where they can go with this?
No, it's true. I mean, I myself don't even know the full extent of her abilities.
They've established that she's going to be Doctor Strange. Is that going to be? Is he going to have to take her down because she's like out of control? Is she an ally? Like we don't know any of this. Like this could be setting up her in a spiral out of control. We don't know.
That's it.
Yeah.
She's going to become manic bipolar. That's it.
Which I don't mind, actually. I mean, that would be kind of a cool spin on things for sure. I mean, we know how powerful she is taking on Thanos. I mean, she was the only one that, one, could destroy the stone, two, hold back Thanos long enough to destroy the stone, and then when they meet up again in Endgame, I mean, she was just... He had to rain fire on everybody because she was just tearing him apart, tearing off all of his armor, holding up there in midair, and he couldn't do shit. So she's a very powerful person who, if she became the enemy...
Which is so funny, because if she's able to, like, actually destroy an Infinity Stone, why didn't she just fucking focus her energy on fucking destroying the Infinity Gauntlet? Like, with all her power.
That's a different ballgame. That's all the stones combined, though.
Yeah, but
we wouldn't have such an impactful story.
Nah, I know, but that's the thing. Like, that's the reason why. Like, if it were me, I would just be trying to focus on the Power Stone.
You take out the and cut off Thanos' arm.
I'm just saying, man, if you destroy the Power Stone, like, that just leaves you with what? Reality?
There's a lot of plot holes in Infinity
come on, man.
War.
There's a bunch. Reality, space, and soul. That's it.
Yeah, but don't be going down that rabbit hole, because you could tear that fucking thing apart. And what's the point, right? I mean, come on.
No. I thought that's what we're doing with this, because we don't even know what the show's going to be about. So I thought we were just shooting the shit here. But thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I'm going to go back to my corner now. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's cool.
do that in the dark room.
She's even made references that it's going to have a 1940s tone, I believe. So, like,
you sound like you have a 1940s tone, Steve. So how about that?
I mean, is that a compliment?
I don't know, Steve. I'm still thinking about it.
I feel like people in the 40s were pretty proper.
So I don't know. Like, that tells me that, like, this isn't just going to be a modern day story. I feel like there's going to be a lot at play where with her emotional disconnect, trying to get past what happened in Endgame, or Infinity War / Endgame.
And remember, there's 5 to 6 empty months where her and Vision were actually off, the radar when they turned off comms when we got introduced to them in Infinity War. So they could definitely do some flashback scenes into that to show us kind of where they were, what they were doing, and they can really have fun with it and do whatever the fuck they want. So,
dude.
Again,
like I said, he's an android, bro. Like, his AI could just be fucking installed into another machine. It's no big deal. Let's move on.
Yeah, they can easily do that. I mean, they imply that they backed it up in Infinity War, so
they can do a quick callback scene that shows that shit was done, and then that's it. It explains it. We're moving on.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me in moving on to the next topic here is it says later in Marvel's Comic Con panel, it was revealed that the events of WandaVision will tie into another Marvel movie, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. So kind of like what you said, Steve,
and
we are going to definitely
see
see some tie-ins from this going into that, which is awesome.
So, Steve, I think you're absolutely right. By the end of WandaVision, she's going to have some fucking meltdown that's actually going to fucking, like, open up what, obviously, this Doctor Strange movie's about.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think this is going to lead to.
And they've stated this is supposed to be, like, Marvel's take on a horror movie. Like, it's still going to be PG-13, but it is supposed to be a legit horror movie.
Because the one thing I've gotten from the Scarlet Witch is that she honestly doesn't even fully understand the full scope of her powers, and like honestly, you could always tell, like, from her portrayal, in these films, that she was almost scared to see what she was capable of, right? So it's almost like parallels with, like, the Phoenix, like, not knowing the full potential of what your powers could actually do. So yeah, I feel like this series, that's gonna, like, totally roll into, like, fuck, dude, we just opened up multiple fucking timelines or something, and yeah, dude, it's up to Doctor Strange to fucking figure it out.
Yeah, and this movie is coming out May 7th, 2021. So this
hell yeah,
awesome summer flick, man.
Finally,
this one's gonna be huge.
We got to it, Ryan. This is the one we were like, fuck yeah, I'm so stoked for this shit.
Oh my god, the second everybody, when they saw Multiverse, because we were all super depressed when we watched Far From Home. Right? And there was a quote, an exact quote from Kevin Feige: just because Quentin Beck makes up lies about the multiverse doesn't mean it isn't real. So
it is real, motherfucker.
Panel during Comic Con.
Yep,
that's awesome.
I'm okay with what they did with Spider-Man. I thought it was ridiculous to think that there was going to be a multiverse that easily in the MCU.
But why not, though? That's the thing. Why not? Why not put it?
That's
in
such a huge drop of info. You're just going to throw it into a trailer that casually.
But now you drop it into a movie title, like, before we even see anything.
Yeah,
but
this is a big hype. I mean, Comic Con, it's a big hype. The Phase 4, everyone wanted to know where they were going next. So I understand it's just a title, but, like, at the same time,
psych out, dude, to the fucking masses, man. Like, Mysterio, it's like I always said when I saw that Spider-Man trailer, I'm like, No, dude, there is no fucking multiverse. That's all Mysterio making you feel like there is. And it just happens to be incredible timing that we're even thinking that a multiverse exists. Like, that is just fantastic.
Endgame just happened.
Yeah, exactly.
They need to let Spider-Man...
I honestly wonder how much of, like, the writing of Endgame, like, actually ran in parallel with the writing from Far From Home. Because it's so coincidental that, like, we're talking about the multiverse in, like, both those movies. So it's just like, yeah, I mean, like, I know for, like, I'm on two parts here. I'm with you, Steve. I totally felt like, yeah, it was a Mysterio, ploy the whole time. But then I'm also with Ryan, where I'm like, this is a perfect fucking segue to, honestly, yes, introduce one of Spider-Man's greatest villains, Mysterio, but yeah, man, we just went through the MCU. Endgame ended. This would be fantastic if they could just, like, piggyback off this and then go the multiverse route. Like, holy shit, we're gonna bring in X-Men. We're gonna bring in X-Men and possibly Fantastic Four. This makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and for me, when I found out, obviously in Far From Home, that the multiverse from Quentin Beck's perspective was bullshit. The reason why that upset me is I knew it was going to be a multiverse. This wasn't like, oh, he made it up and now we're not going to see it ever. I was like, oh, well, we're definitely going to see it. Like, that wasn't a question for me.
Yeah.
So the fact that they just delayed it and then released it literally, 3 weeks to a month later within a title review, it's like, why didn't you just give it to me? Because you set it up already perfectly. It could have been from the snaps that opened some kind of portal. They even mentioned in Endgame that there was some earthquake underneath the water, underneath Wakanda, that they said, oh, we don't do anything, it was an earthquake, whatever. It could have been any of that
dude,
shit.
But that's what fucking, like, made me feel like they were going to introduce X-Men, because I believe they mentioned Namor at that point. And I'm like, oh, wait, that'd be fucking amazing. But I don't know.
Yeah,
that's yet to be seen.
Rumor is that earthquake was a reference to that character coming into Black Panther 2, I believe.
That would be dope. Really hope that happens. We'll see.
That would be dope, dude. That would be so cool. Yeah, so like you said, Steve, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is supposed to be the first horror film. Like, actual... like
hell yeah.
It's
going to be dark as
a horror
fuck.
film, man.
That's dope.
Of the
I can't
MCU.
wait.
I am pumped for that, man.
So, like, I gotta just say, and I haven't even said this yet, but, like, how exciting is this, just knowing the fact that there's so much uncertainty with, like, where they're gonna go with these films? I'm super excited for that. Because for me, I mean, anyone that obviously followed Marvel Comics early on, we all knew Infinity War was coming. Like, we kind of saw it all coming and whatnot. So, at this point, like, I'm just a fan, just ready for the next thing. And, yeah, dude, this movie sounds like it's going to be dark, and honestly, is that what they're coining it? A fucking horror movie? Or, like, is it literally just dark?
I mean, the director's even from a horror background, so...
Hell yeah.
From what I understood, he's basically told Marvel, like, I'll do the sequel, but I want it to be a horror.
Okay.
I want it to be what I...
He just wants to be a darker tone, right?
He didn't want to just do another Doctor Strange,
Dude, that's
this movie
crazy.
has so much potential because...
Yes, it does. Because Doctor Strange is so robust as a character. Like, there's so much at play.
You just see him learning in the first movie, okay? Like, and then Infinity War and Endgame, like, you see him using his power, but, like...
Now he's going to be a master of the fucking
not to
dark
his
arts,
potential.
bro.
Like,
Let's
this
go.
movie, he's experienced, he has all this time that he's trained. Like, he is truly... the master now. Like, he truly knows what he's doing, and so it's gonna be really cool to see what they can do, especially with the art style that they pulled on the first Doctor Strange. Like, they're just gonna top that with this movie.
Yeah, totally. For whatever reason, when I read the Multiverse of Madness, I just immediately, my first thought is Alice in Wonderland, and I don't mean that as a joke. I mean that, and literally
holy shit,
word madness. That, like.
I'm sorry, but you're right, dude. So the director of this movie, all he's done is horror. Fuck yeah.
I want to say he did Sinister, which I was terrified of.
Sinister, at The Exorcism of Emily Rose, like, Deliver Us from Evil, Devil's Knot, like, all he has in his background is horror. Fuck yeah, dude. I can't... dude, I'm sorry. This is, like, news to me. I did not know they were going to go completely this route. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm nerding the fuck out.
No, I was going to say, like I said, I think the Multiverse of Madness, the thing I think about is Alice in Wonderland, and the reason I make that comparison is if you go back and you watch Alice in Wonderland or any of the new renditions of it, and you know, everybody will always say, oh, you watch that movie, it's like a bad acid trip, right? And I can tell you right now, this movie,
but it's dark, right? It's dark,
and it's dark, and it has all those dark undertones, right? So when I think of this movie, I think of it very similar. Like I think it's going to be visually, obviously, from even the first Doctor Strange. It's like looking through kaleidoscopes, right? No, but that kind of like mirror dimension look, right? I mean, and going into different kind of actual realities, like that's kind of how I see them doing this.
No,
and
totally.
I think once we actually watch this movie, I think the two, I think might actually surprise people if I had to make a guess of the relationship that we see with that. Because in some parts, if you actually look at Alice in Wonderland, like, there's some scary fucking parts because of how fucking twisted it is.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, because just because it says gothic horror as the description doesn't mean this is going to be jump out at you scary by any stretch of the imagination. This could be more like visually disturbing. This could be psychologically disturbing. I mean, we don't know, you know, how horror is categorized. So, but just for it being a horror MCU film, the first scary MCU film, I'm so fucking down for that. And I know, Mike, you being such a big horror guy, this is probably going to be one of your, I swear, without even obviously seeing the movie, it's going to be probably one of your favorite movies. I'm calling it right now.
I'm saying it right now, dude. It's got my maximum fucking focus. We're not even doing focus meters this episode, but like, absolutely. Yep. Dude, that's awesome. What a refreshing take. I mean, I know how we talked about last episode about seeing the superhero genre be explored as far as like in that graphic novel, The Boys, like seeing a different aspect of superheroes. Yeah, dude, like just getting a horror version of this. I mean, I still have yet not to see Brightburn. I really want to watch that movie, but I'm actually honestly like, this is like a fucking incredible like tribute as far as to myself, thank you, that we're gonna get an actual like maybe possibly a darker MCU type, you know, horror movie. If that is, and honestly, so that like you're saying they're classifying this as a gothic horror tone, and it's literally to make the first scary MCU film. This is gonna catch a lot of people. You know, it's gonna catch a lot of people off by guard for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely not getting New Mutants, so
yeah. Dude, I mean, I dare I say, is this like if this actually gets like a, I think The Conjuring, like those types of movies, those are still rated PG-13, I believe. But if this gets a rated, I mean, I don't think it'll get rated R. But
no. They've even established that Deadpool won't be coming. To MCU, so they're not doing R.
Yeah, I think you can get away with horror still being PG-13. So, yeah, man, this is awesome. This is pushing new boundaries. I'm super stoked.
Yeah. And if any of these movies in Phase 4 is gonna give us any kind of teaser for Phase 5, it's got to be this one. There's going to be a multiverse that gives you a glimpse of either characters we know or characters we don't know that will show up and we will be introduced to. Like it's,
yeah.
I mean, what better movie, right?
What better?
They could be there for 5 seconds, you know.
Dude, what better movie?
Pop in,
and like,
whoa, this is where we should be. Pop out, boom, you saw an Easter egg.
Dude, what?
Who knows what they could do?
So what better movie? But also too, Steve, like, and Ryan, like, think about this. If they go ahead and use this as an opportunity to show different possibilities with the multiverse, and then let, like, you know, after the movie comes out, like, let the fan reaction as far as, like, what people love the most, have that kind of dictate what actually leads to the end of maybe Phase 5 or Phase 6. That would be awesome.
Isn't that what they do already? I mean,
I'm just saying.
That's what they're
I'm just saying, like, you have an actual, like, this movie honestly has, like, an internal survey almost with, like, the possibilities that they can explore.
A focus group, if you will.
Yes. What's the focus? Good job, Steve. Love it.
No. Oh, yeah. So I think we can all agree that we are very excited for this one just because of how unique this filming is actually going to be. But I'm excited to find out more plot details and just see some pre-production photos that get released and just keep a close eye on this one as it gets going.
They haven't even announced yet the villain yet, right?
Nope, not that I know of. Yeah,
Okay, that's
nothing
cool.
has been disclosed. That I
No,
could have found.
what's his name from the first movie hasn't even been established if he's coming back for this.
Dormammu or Mordo?
Him, yeah.
Mordo?
Yeah, I just...
Yeah.
They made it... I mean, I felt like it was very clear that he was going to be the villain for the next one, but, I mean, they haven't really even established that.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain. Now, moving on to the next topic.
Yeah, moving on. All right, so we got another Disney Plus series, Loki, coming May 7th, 2021.
Oh, Ryan, what's that about? I've heard good things.
Oh, okay, to update everybody, Loki was killed. Let's just get that right off the bat.
Shut up. I still have not seen Infinity War or Endgame yet. Are you kidding me?
All right, well, we're just going to have to kick you off this podcast, and you're going to have to go
Make sure you watch Endgame
Yeah, I'm going to go backwards.
first. Yeah.
Why isn't Loki in this fucking movie? Oh, wait, he
It'll be
died.
less of an impact on you, you know?
You're going to be so depressed.
So sad.
So Loki did die in Infinity War, okay? So that character that we know that grew into more of a caring role to his brother Thor.
Or was
and
he a
the people
Skrull?
around him.
You know what I'm saying?
No, come on.
You don't know.
Everyone's
Well, you know,
Skrull.
that's the
You
fun
don't
part,
know.
right? They did
That's
that
the fun part.
Yeah, they did that on purpose. Right now, you're literally looking at everybody going, "Are they a Skrull? Are they a Skrull?" The good thing, though, that we can indicate is they have not actually brought in Super Skrulls yet. Now, Super Skrulls are people who can actually not only take on your appearance, but if you are a super person and you have powers, they can actually take those attributes on as well. As of right now, the Skrulls that we know, they can just only take on the appearance. So if you see somebody actually using any of their powers for the time being, you can pretty much count that they're not a Skrull. So little indicator for people out there who may have not known that. But regardless, the
Nice.
character that we knew from Infinity War is gone. All right, so picking this up, this show is now taking on the Loki from Endgame that escapes with the Tesseract.
Oh, is that actually announced? That's for sure?
That is
Yeah.
100%.
Hell
confirmed.
yeah. Yes.
I have the biggest problem with this whole plot.
I know.
Absolutely. It changes
too.
everything, and we can have a whole nother podcast about this.
Literally, an entire podcast.
I agree, dude. I agree.
Go for it,
It changes
Steve. Go for it,
everything.
bud.
Steve,
Okay, I'll try to be brief about
try to
this.
get it in 2 minutes. Go.
I'll try to be brief. From the way I perceived Infinity War and Endgame is... Okay, so...
This is a good start.
The Time Stone... Well, all of them. Okay, so they said if you take one out, it disrupts and makes branches, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Correct.
So, but once you put it back, it was fine. But technically, he never took the Space Stone. He never took it out. It's just in a different location. So it's still in that time. So therefore, it wouldn't have changed anything in that concept. That's how I perceive it.
Nope.
But the
Already
directors have
disagree.
basically said that no, it's a whole different time now. And
That's bullshit.
I don't.
That Space Stone was being used at top of the what was it? The Stark Tower.
It was the Stark Tower.
To open the fucking portal for the Chitauri army to come through and invade. That Loki in that time frame, like in that time, his mindset was to literally serve the Chitauri army. So if
Which
he gets
was Thanos.
which is Thanos. So like if he literally has that mindset and he literally ends up with the Space Stone, how does he not just like go back to opening up another fucking portal and let them just invade New York and what we now perceive as the 2012 version of Avengers or whatever? They
Well, they
that's
kind
not
of
how it happens.
that a little bit.
But that
they
changes
made
everything.
some announcements.
That causes an absolute rift in the timeline.
They did make an announcement though that
What do they say?
he was manipulated by the Mind Stone, and that's why he was so aggressive in what he did in those movies. And once he was taken away from the Mind Stone, he came back to
That's a cop
being
out.
more exactly what it is. But that's what they retconned to justify bringing him in and being a good guy, where you feel for him dying rather than being like, well, this piece of shit did all these bad things, like that's basically what they did with that.
But he wasn't.
So that could kind of
He wasn't possessed by the Mind Stone.
that.
He had possession of the Mind Stone, and he was possessing other people.
Yeah, but I think what they were trying to say is Thanos gave it
I
to
don't believe that.
him, and it manipulated his mind to do what Thanos wanted.
Well, that's why this whole thing. It's not only just that, but they've also gone into other stuff too. That's saying that he's actually now jumping through different points within time, and that's
which makes no sense.
Which makes no sense because the Space Stone should just get you from A to B within the same time that you're actually in, not jumping through actual time itself. So it'll be interesting.
Which is further evidence to what I was saying. So thank you.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see.
Dude, when you say jump through time, the Space Stone's not jumping through time. It's literally a portal to go to anywhere you want in the galaxy at any given time. It's not jumping. It's not jumping
people
time.
People have been already talking about that. This whole premise of the show is him literally going through time and manipulating things within time for his benefit.
I think their description was he has a hand in a lot of historical events throughout
That's
mankind.
What I read too.
So it's implied that he's time traveling. Essentially,
So that
quantum leap.
that absolutely contradicts everything because he also has the access to the Bifrost. So, I mean, at that point, that has not been destroyed yet. That all got destroyed in Ragnarok, right? Mm-hmm. So his ability to jump through, fucking whatever galaxies or whatever planets is literally he can do that on a whim with the Bifrost, right? Mm-hmm. Or not so much. It's not him. I guess he can actually summon whoever Idris Elba's character to call him back to fucking. Oh my God, where do they come from? What's their place that got destroyed? Asgard. Thank you.
Asgard.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that doesn't. But I don't know.
Would he though? Because he's kind of an enemy at this point of the MCU timeline, right?
So Avengers is actually it's after Thor Dark World, correct?
Yeah. No, it is.
I
think Dark World is actually after.
No, you're right. But
the first Thor
that was early on in Phase 2.
Yes, but Loki's not necessarily an enemy after the first Thor. It's more after Dark World that he.
Well, I mean, he's never really been an enemy in the Thor movies. He's just been a.
No, I mean whatever,
he's
dude.
teetered on the side of evil and good.
Yeah,
just an asshole.
Just the god of mischief, right? He's more so placed toward that.
He's Jim Carrey, the Mask. Is what he is.
Smoking.
That's Loki mask, man. That's the mask.
You're right, dude. You're right. Yeah. Good fight, dude. Oh man, as a kid, that was a great movie, and I fucking love that movie, and I always wanted a sequel to that.
Supposedly they're gender swapping or something and making a.
Dude, Jim Carrey's
reboot.
Just so fucking good for that role. Honestly, to this day,
it has nothing to do with gender other than just the fact that it's just Jim Carrey.
Dude, and I feel like he could still nail it today. And if they got good enough writers, I'm sure they could come up with a decent enough story to bring that back because. That'd be awesome.
It's
dude.
not like that movie had a complex story. It was basically just about him doing his stand-up.
Who would be a female mask in your opinion? Just real quick, who could you think of at the top of your head that would be a good version?
What's her name in SNL?
Wait, okay. So you literally picked the same person as me. You're
Kate McKinnon. Kate McKinnon.
Yes,
that's exactly who I was thinking of too, man. I would think
she would be perfect for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she'd be pretty good.
I didn't mean to derail on that one, but I thought the exact same thing. If anybody was going to play it, it'd be her.
I mean, she's definitely that's what she is, right? She's like a modern day Jim Carrey-esque
kind of
personality, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
she's out of control.
She's got that goofy out there kind of.
She's not as flamboyant as Jim, but yeah, she's pretty damn good. I love her.
Yeah, no, she's hilarious. All right, so going back into Loki, again, I think, I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see where they take it because, again, from rumors, these are all rumors, right? And we're basing all of this off of what we read on articles online, so, but the rumors are exactly what we just said. It's him time jumping to manipulate, certain events within time that we know from historical things that are, dramatic events that within our history that we literally find out within this show that he was actually behind it and responsible for. And so within that contradicts, like you said, Mike, it contradicts everything that we know about the Space Stone. Or just about stones in general, which I fucking hate. So I really hope that is not the case, or I'm going to be extremely butthurt. about this fucking series.
So the thing is, too, like, now we're talking about different timelines now. So, I mean, however this show ends, is it going to end with him saving himself so he doesn't die and he's still alive? Because,
well, if it's going to go into a season 2 or season 3, then it'll probably just.
I mean, does he?
In the same
does
year.
he? Well, what I'm saying is,
Do we know where he stands with like contracts and just
well, I'm just saying,
wanting to be a part of the MCU still?
He definitely
like,
wants
past
to,
this?
or he wouldn't have done this show. I mean,
but you know how easy it would be to just reshoot the death scene of just showing, because it's pretty much a CG scene itself with seeing Thanos, the children of Thanos in the background, and he chokes out Loki. That it would honestly, I could see that series ending with him actually either disappearing from Thanos' grip, or like they reshoot that scene where you actually see him escape, and that's how that series ends. To that point, it just leads to, hey man, Loki's still alive.
What do you mean when you say like disappearing out of his grip?
So the thing is like Thanos gets the fucking stone from the Tesseract from Loki at that scene, right, where he chokes him out and kills Loki. What I'm saying is the way that scene is set up, it's set up in such a way that they could totally go back and just redo that scene and just reanimate Thanos, you know, seeing Loki disappear in his hands and being like, oh shit, it's like a Back to the Future sequence, right?
Well, so,
like you've changed the future, therefore you disappear from a certain memory or timeline that we all have seen. So Loki, doesn't die. Why? I mean, what dictates that Loki needs to die in
because
the timeline?
Endgame, they established that the time travel aspect does not impact the past, or it does not impact the future from the past. It only.
Yeah, but he's going to impact the fucking future by being in the past. How is he not?
He has to.
He has to. He's in.
No, I get what you're saying.
He's in the 2012 version of
like,
fucking Avengers.
Said, so Back to the Future was bullshit. It's like, so he wouldn't disappear in that sense, but.
Well, he's not going to. He's either not going to be there, or like they could totally change that scene as far as like
they could do anything they want. He's the god of mischief. They can literally get another survivor on there, and he can fucking
totally
make him look like him or whatever. Who knows?
Like I said, it could be a fucking Skrull for all we know that died as Loki. I'm telling you right now, I'm willing to take bets. Like he did not die by the hands of Thanos. He's going to change that shit. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like he's the one character that they are going to figure out how to bring him back.
Well, I mean, according to them, it's an alternate timeline. I mean,
well, you want to know why, Steve? This is going to happen,
survive, but it would not be in this timeline.
You want to know why this is going to happen, bro? Because this series is well before, obviously, what is the last of Phase 4, which we'll get to later, but the latest Thor movie. And it hasn't been announced yet, but I'm fucking for sure by the end of that movie or somewhere in between, he's going to be there.
Thor. That's a good. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, dude. They're gonna find a way to get him back. For sure.
If he's doing these TV shows, you better believe that he's going to be in the next.
He's the god.
Do we want that though?
He's the god of mischief, bro. He's out for his own fucking benefit. Like he's gonna
the character.
Yeah,
but that's the same plot over and over with the Thor movies. Team up with my not so trusting brother.
I don't think it's going to be a team up. I'm thinking he's going to be.
It's a different character. Remember, you got to remember this.
Steve,
is not...
think of it like this way: he's going to be like a last resort type of thing. He might just come out of the fucking blue, and we don't even know about it. Like they might actually hide his casting from the role altogether.
They could always go.
Yeah, and he might show up as a last ditch effort to like help whoever him and Lady Thor are fighting or whatever, and be like, "Oh fuck, Loki's back! Holy shit!"
Or not help.
Yeah, or not help and just fuck shit up again. Who knows?
Shit up again, which is more of what I see happening.
I almost like that idea of like Thor sees him and is so happy that he's back, but. It's not
him. It's not the Loki that died.
With.
Exactly.
Essentially, Gamora and Star-Lord.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep, you're right. It's not the 2014 version of Gamora or whatever.
And so this Loki would have, aggressions and such toward Thor.
Totally.
And it,
I agree, dude. I mean, there's a lot at play here as far as so many creative, scenarios that they can go in.
They
but
could definitely play with the dynamics of
they
the
can
characters again.
absolutely.
I just am worried that they're going to keep going to that well because people do love both of these characters.
Yep.
I mean, but we don't even know if he's in there, but most likely he is, right?
No,
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
hope
what's
so, too.
interesting? So when does this come out? Loki is out. What?
It just says spring
of
2021.
21.
May 7th, 2021.
Okay, and then after that, we're gonna. What's the next thing on the pipe?
So what if there was a show called What If?
Well, it depends on what it's about. Oh damn it! I fucked it up. That was too tough. Too tough.
That's all right. I ask all the tough questions on the show. No, so the next series is going again.
Wow, man! Way to make me feel like really insignificant. Jeez.
Sorry, bud. Sorry. you really did this to yourself. I asked a simple
Jesus.
question.
Wow. Way to toot your own fucking horn. Jesus.
Beep, beep.
Beep,
All
beep,
right.
bitch. Move over.
So now back to back Disney Plus shows. This one is going to be an animated series called What If. It's very interesting, man. It's very interesting when you actually look into this show and all the things that we're going to see. It really just says it all in the name. It's going to be the What If is going to be different characters in different situations and scenarios than we saw them in the actual live action MCU. What do you just think about the premise of that? I mean, do you find that interesting? Is that something that you even care about? Do you just like the original characters and you can give two fucks about it? I mean, how are you feeling about this one, Mike?
So, I mean, this more or less just addresses everything we just talked about before about all the loopholes in the MCU. Like, this show could totally address, like, literally, I'm going to say it, but the literal what if this happened? Does that lead to this? Or, you know, like all these things that Marvel's had to come out and basically say, like you just said, Steve, about the whole like Space Stone stuff, right? Or was it you, Ryan? I don't know, but about how like the Mind
It was both of us. It was a team effort.
Yeah, it was a team effort. Whatever about the Mind Stone manipulating Loki or whatever, right? Like it's a total what if scenario. So
is this a whoopsie show? Is this all the fucking whoopsies in the MCU that they're not just putting to fucking into this one?
It's kind of like it's a good little parody to kind of play off that nature of just nerd fandom of just, you know, people just, you know, obviously, you know, always trying to point out or nick and pick, you know, these movies and point out things that might have loopholes. And, you know, maybe this is a chance for Marvel to flesh those things out a little bit. But you're telling me that this is fully animated? Because I thought this was going to be like...
it's an animated show.
It's fully animated?
Yep,
Yeah,
but
3D
within the
animated or
show,
like...
They got a full cast of all the original actors actually doing the voices for it, which is the rare and cool thing of it all.
But is it animated like Animatrix animated? Like where they're going to have different styles of animation? Or is it like that Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix? Like are they going to
We don't know.
Like-
No, yeah, we don't know yet. We don't
Okay,
know,
so
but
I'm
we'll
hoping
see.
I'm hoping they explore that route, because if they go that route, that'll be badass.
Yeah, that would be really cool to have different art styles for each episode.
Fuck yeah, I really hope they do that. That would be dope.
If they were smart from looking at how successful that actual show on Netflix actually was and how it was actually taken on, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that was so, when I watched that for the first time, that alone I was just looking forward to just seeing the artistic style more than I was the story.
Hell
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, having now the voice actors being all the real actors, and then maybe changing it up with how it's actually, you know, filmed and done with different artistic looks would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I know, I agree.
And we don't know how many episodes this is either.
I think
right?
they're all
It's-
6. I think there's just 6 episodes.
6? Okay.
From what I read so far, and you know, feel free to correct me later down the line if something else comes out. But every episode every series I see says 6 attached to it. So
I gotta believe this is going to be maybe crossing over like 15 episodes of like 15 minutes max an episode, dude. Like these are going to
I
be
can
snippets.
see this one being the only one that goes past that 6 being an animated, you know.
Okay,
series.
so you think there'll be like a few different stories?
Hell
within an
yeah,
episode?
dude! They're gonna
like
yeah,
short, like
yeah,
real short.
They're gonna be
short.
animated shorts, dude. Like they're totally gonna
Okay.
explore specific parts of different films. So I can't actually recall, but maybe you guys have better memory than I do at this point. So do you remember the little spin-off shorts that they did for, like, I mean, obviously after the first Avengers, like I think it was for some of the films that came after in Phase 2, maybe, where they had I forget the actress, but whatever. But they had some shorts that went along with the DVD materials where, these characters had access to the Jatari weapons or whatever. And
I think that was Avengers that they had that.
Yeah, dude. Do you remember that shit? Like they did little spin-offs.
The one shots.
That's totally, I feel like, where this idea came from. And they're like, that did pretty well. Like, what if we actually make a what if series? Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's where they kind of maybe originally got the idea for this. And what a great medium to work in as far as animation. That's awesome. Hopefully that'll actually speed up the pipeline as far as like storyboarding and iterating and getting to final shots. So yeah, like you were saying, I really hope they explore different art styles for this. And Ryan, I feel like this might actually be more than 6 episodes. I think this is going to be, you're probably going to maybe get like maybe 15 or more shorts.
Yeah, like I said,
and they're going to be small. They're going to be really small.
With any of the series, it's going to be the animated series where they extend it over the obviously live action.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they have. I think it's more money for obviously live action stuff than it is just to go and do it all animated and do voiceovers. So, yeah, they could definitely make this a lot longer of a series, and they're going to be breaking into a bunch of stuff. I mean, everything I researched is they're going to be doing different what ifs about Ant-Man, Black Panther, Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor. I mean, they're really going to dive in deep to a lot of those characters, and it's going to be like, what if, just as an example, what if Peggy Carter was Captain America?
Yeah. No, totally.
Yeah, my first thought was when they announced this was that, well, I mean, we kind of heard about this before, but this was the official announcement. But my first thought was they were going to have each movie be a what if episode. But now that makes more sense that they would probably just kind of like throw different characters within episodes with each other and make it like more of an extreme what if.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting, man. I mean, I honestly don't know what to expect from it all.
Expect the unexpected, bro. Like, it's just going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I honestly don't. I'm not thinking too much about this. I hope they just honestly just have fun with it.
Yeah, the one I'm looking forward to is what if Loki found Thor's hammer first?
Yeah.
Like that storyline, or what if the Hulk had reverted to Bruce Banner when he crashed on Sakaar instead of being the Hulk? I mean, what if Thanos joined the Avengers? Like, these are all really cool concepts that I would thoroughly love to see, especially in an animated series. I think, like you said, I think the best word is it's going to be just a lot of fun.
No, it's going to be a lot of fun for sure. And, I mean, if they do go the whole movie route, which, if they're going to go by film, great. Like, that might be a great way to go about it. Like, what if in Ant-Man this happened, or vice versa in Captain America?
That's what I initially thought it was going to be, something like that.
If they do that, that sounds like a great idea. Because in that, I mean, as far as like taking the film there, then they can actually focus on, I don't want to say the flaws of every film, but they could, I honestly, focus on more of the weaker points of the story, I guess, and maybe play around with the what ifs with that. So that's,
well, they could take like all these things where we're like, well, why didn't he just do that? It's like perfect. They can address those things in a very meta and like humorous way that kind of like winks to the audience, like, we know what you guys, we get you. We're hearing what you guys are saying. Here's a fun episode that kind of covers that explanation or something.
Dude, I mean, the fact that they got Jeff Goldblum back as the Grandmaster, I'm down, dude. Because it's my birthday. It's my birthday.
Oh my gosh, I fucking love that part.
God, I love that. Love Jeff Goldblum.
Me too.
Yeah,
maybe they'll have an episode where it's just about his birthday.
Yeah, please.
So colorful. So many orgy ships.
So many. Yeah, exactly. What actually went on those ship rides?
He's just turning people into pus if they don't give him a good enough gift.
Yes. I'm going to turn you into a giant zit.
That's right. So this is due to premiere in the summer of 2021. There's no actual specific date attached to it yet. It's too far in advance. But that's definitely something that's coming down the pike that looks like a lot of fun. So we're going to be moving on. Next one is going to be the Hawkeye Disney Plus series, which I know a lot of people were kind of going back and forth. We were hearing that it was going to happen, and then some people were saying it wasn't confirmed, and they were kind of leaving this one more as a mystery. And now, obviously, coming into Comic Con, this is 100% confirmed. And I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see this one go, because this one is going to be now taking on Jeremy Renner playing Hawkeye, now training along Kate Bishop, which I know everybody was kind of looking forward to. And making their predictions even in the trailer for Endgame, saying, maybe that girl shooting the arrows is Kate Bishop. And, everybody was having that debate, thinking it was the daughter or Kate Bishop. Regardless, this is somebody now everybody's been waiting for. So we're going to finally see I'm sure the training montage of her getting going, kind of learning, everything from Hawkeye and kind of filling in that next role where we're probably going to see her be the new Hawkeye in, the end of Phase 4, maybe even leading into Phase 5, in my opinion. So I think this one, for that character, is a pretty significant role and big deal.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a literal passing of the torch for Jeremy Renner. This will probably be the last time we see him as Hawkeye, and moving forward, like you're saying, this Kate Bishop character is going to be the new Hawkeye, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see if she's going to be included in the new Avengers. Because honestly, at this point, it's going to lead into that, because this is toward the tail end here of Phase 4. So
exactly,
yeah, it's just a great little segue into, honestly touching base on more, one of the original Avengers, and that's it. He's going to have his, a couple episodes where we get to kind of, I don't want to say fall in love with the character again. We already, love his portrayal as Hawkeye, as what's his name? Clint Barton. Clint Barton, right? So, yeah, man, this is probably going to be a little bit of a tearjerker, but I think like this will be it for him as far as the character goes. I don't think we need to see him being Hawkeye moving forward. I feel like Endgame itself, I thought, was a good ending point for him, but honestly, like, this might be even a better out for that character overall.
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more, actually. I think that's exactly what they're doing, and I think it's a great way to, pay tribute to what he's done, and now, like you said, pass the torch on to the next Hawkeye, being Kate Bishop.
You're right, and also too, like, it wasn't really fair for Hawkeye itself, the character, because it never really got a origin movie. It was honestly introduced in the first Thor movie, so much like Black Widow, this is the closest thing we're going to get to, maybe getting, more of a Hawkeye designated, adaptation. So, this will be a nice little callback at the point. By the time this releases in the fall 2021, this will be a nice little callback, because I believe, up until then, we'll only have seen Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch and Loki as far as the original, MCU characters. So, this will be fun. Yeah.
Steve, do you have anything briefly to say about Hawkeye, or are you ready to go into the main event?
Yeah, Mike kind of went into it, but pretty much how I thought of it was, they can take this character who, I mean, let's be honest, most people have kind of took as a joke compared to everybody else's development.
It's not a joke, man. He has an excellent name.
At least until Endgame,
Yeah, that's true.
And this will be a good way for them to really kind of give that character his identity. I'm not familiar with the comic run, but from what I understand, this is going to be heavily based on a very popular run of him, just who he is, what he does on his, in his life when he's not an Avenger, when he's just in his apartment, when he's just living life, doing small crime tackles, and I'm interested. I'd love to see what they do. Give him his personality where he's got that, sarcastic wit, and he's kind of like a Spider-Man to an extent, with his humor and banter with villains.
So yeah, I got
at least in some of the cartoon runs I've seen, he does that.
So I got a question for you guys. So Captain America's super serum, what do you guys think about that? As far as like, you saw that shit in like World War II, and it never really surfaced itself again until like you saw in the Incredible Hulk movie where the I guess the experiment went wrong with the Abomination's character, whatever that character was, but if that's what literally turned into the Abomination. But I feel like like you honestly think like with all that time that's gone on, like that super serum would actually be perfected, and a character like Hawkeye himself would fully benefit from that shit to be more relevant. And that's honestly probably why the whole Avengers series, he always felt way more nerfed, so to speak, as opposed to all the other Avengers. Because for me, I mean, obviously Captain America embodied the spirit and the pride of like literally, never giving up and, always, believing in fighting for the right cause, right? But like, this is an actual like lethal assassin. Like, how come they never thought in any type of like timeline, or even for Black Widow whatsoever, to actually administer the super serum stuff? Which is, I mean, I don't know. I honestly wonder why Marvel never entertained that. I honestly wonder if there's a comic line that actually has that. I don't know. Just wanted to get your thoughts.
So are you talking just in general within like the MCU or
no? In general,
Marvel comics.
In general comics. Do you even know of a line where this exists, where he actually gets, fucking, I don't know. He honestly gets more even killed with the other characters, because I feel like that super serum shit is like you think that stuff would be perfected by this point, but it sounds like it never was.
It sounds like a what if episode, doesn't it?
Yeah, right. Totally a what if episode. Because I feel like his character would be I'm not saying he'd be a better version of Captain America, but he'd totally be a candidate for Captain America. Absolutely.
Now, another thing that'd be interesting to see if he did have something, maybe not super serum related, but we know his instincts are incredible and on par with really anybody else of just awareness and vision when it comes to accuracy. So, I mean, again, diving further deep into before we saw him on screen, maybe he was given something. I mean, who knows? He definitely does things better.
That's true. We don't necessarily know that.
You're right. There's no
his
origin on
character
that.
Doesn't have some kind of enhancement within the MCU.
You're right.
I mean, we don't know that.
We don't. But there's definitely a lot of things to prove that he may have something. I mean, he's definitely not just the average Joe walking around. I mean, he does things that are extraordinary.
But at the same time, I guess, if he's now training somebody else to take his mantle, then...
Yeah, it's all natural.
Then that means there is no
PEDs, right, Ryan?
Of some sort.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I also don't have a problem with him.
You just have to be able to do it.
I don't have a problem with him not having anything either, though. I mean, that just makes him more of a badass, in my opinion, also.
No, it totally does.
That's what the point of the character is to be more grounded so that we can relate to this character. Even though, people relate to Spider-Man and Captain America for their characteristics and...
Yeah, but you got to go find a fucking radioactive spider to get bit by in order to become Spider-Man. Like Hawkeye sounds like one. I mean, Hawkeye sounds like
Peter
a character
Parker's
you can actually be.
Struggles as a high school kid. You can relate to, Captain America losing his love and not having that second chance with her. Like,
no, bro. Like he was a scrawny, pathetic guy that had a huge heart.
He's just a person, and he's surrounded by all of these people who are, in essence, better than him. just on power.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Like I'm just wondering, and maybe for our fans out there, if they want to just chime in through comments, let us know, because I'm actually wondering if there's another Hawkeye comic series that actually changes the this character a little bit. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's a great question. Hopefully we get some responses.
So yeah, all right, dude, this is it. We're leading into the next the grand finale. Ryan,
yeah, dude, Thor: Love and Thunder. This one was a huge uproar at Comic-Con. Lot of reveals. A lot of reveals. So just going right off the bat, we got Taika Waititi coming back and returning his role as director, which is fucking awesome.
And the voice of Porg, right? Or is it Porg or Torg? What is his name?
Porg.
What's his name?
It's a Star Wars crossover.
Yeah. He voices a fucking pork. One of those things that Chewbacca was salivating over.
Yeah, man. So the fact that he's actually now coming back to direct this, and obviously as popular, like we said, as Thor Ragnarok was, everybody was fucking just going crazy. The fact that now he's involved in this next Thor movie, which would be technically Thor 4, which is pretty crazy to think about, that we're already on now the 4th movie, just solo film, which is incredible.
I'm with Steve though. This is a sequel. This is not a fourth movie. I feel like the Ragnarok started a different franchise almost.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. And you're thinking of Korg, by the way.
Korg. Sorry, it was close.
Dude, you were so close.
Oh, sorry. Did we not establish the name?
Honestly, if Steve didn't rat you out, I totally would have just gone along with it.
Dude, here's the thing.
I'm just playing.
I knew I was wrong, but like I'm at that confidence level now that I hope that my, obviously our the other co-hosts already can help me out. So that's good.
You're already feeling that comfortable. How many drinks are you? Are you just one?
Nah, it's about 2. Yeah, not bad. I actually, dude, I'm out, dude. I'm out of Maker's Mark here. This sucks. I'm gonna have to make a run to Costco this weekend. Fuck.
I drank my little glass and I've been drinking water ever since, just so I can actually speak correctly.
That sounds nice. I'm quite parched.
Which I gotta tell you, there is a difference within me doing this sober and a little tipsy. I gotta say, it's weird. It's definitely weird. But this movie, dude, I'm so pumped for this movie. One, right off the bat, a big reveal was that we are going to see everybody's favorite female character that everybody missed within the Thor, Natalie Portman. Dude, she is apparently supposed to be the next female Thor.
How do you feel about this? I got mixed feelings.
Hate it. Fucking hate it.
Okay, so here's my 2 cents on it really quickly. My gut told me that her not being involved with the other movies or whatever was more so that she didn't really feel that her character was being ridden to a higher level. Kind of like what Halle Berry was kind of feeling when she played Storm for a while. But then obviously she realized that, she's a part of something that's kind of bigger than herself. So she came back to reprise the role. So, I only feel like she's honestly back for this movie just due to the fact that, like you just said, she's going to be playing Lady Thor. Because I felt like she kind of just gave up on the MCU overall because she was kind of like, okay.
Oh, she was vocal about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
She was not shy to say she was done.
Yeah.
God, I fucking hate that.
Yeah, which, to me is... I feel like if you're an actor and if you're in this... if you're in any of these movies, it's not so much speaking to your acting ability, but it's a fucking honor, right? So
totally, dude.
It should be. I know you're a serious actor. You've done drama. You've been nominated. You've won Oscars. That's great and whatnot. But this is a different realm, man. Like this is to be in a Marvel movie is outside of its own realm. So for her to kind of like shun that a little bit. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way, so I'm a little bit hesitant towards seeing her as Lady Thor. But it is what it is. She's casted. I'm not gonna flip out over it. I do think she's a very talented actress.
I'm gonna flip the fuck out about it. To be honest, I fucking hate it with every fiber of my being. I don't care who knows it. I'll fucking scream it from the roof.
All right. At least it is a real character, though. They didn't just gender swap. It is a real character. They are following a storyline, as far as we know.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
It's a legitimate thing.
Yeah. So here, the other thing too here is the fact that we're getting Thor, this Thor movie before, and obviously a Guardians of the Galaxy 3, just feels a little bit weird. But
very, and I was going to mention that too.
Yeah, due to how Endgame ended. But
yep.
You mean as far as the plot point with him being with the...
Yeah, dude. Like, so this movie of Thor, is this Bro Thor or whatever? Or is this Fat Thor? Like, how's this gonna... Where does this take place? Do we know yet?
It's got to be right after. I think it said within my notes, actually, when I was reading it, that this is following right after Endgame.
Okay, all right. So this is totally Bro Thor then.
So this says at the end of the movie, he joins the Guardians of the Galaxy as they embark on such a search for Gamora. With Asgard now settled comfortably in a small Scandinavian cove, and Valkyrie leading them as king, Thor is free to go on all the adventures he chooses. whether or not he'll make an appearance in the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, if his next movie will be Thor 4, is still unknown.
Now, will they come into this movie at all?
See?
Even as a cameo or just
That's where
hey, we're dropping Thor off on this planet.
I don't think
we'll
so,
be back
dude.
later.
I don't
I could see
think so.
Rocket or somebody like that, somebody CGI'd in there, but I don't think you're going to see any Chris Pratt or any of those big
Drax.
characters.
It would be a nice filler, though, because, Marvel knows that people are wanting Guardians, and with the delay, with all the drama of what's his name? The director.
Yeah, but they already kind of fucked up that
James
whole
Gunn.
James Gunn, thank you.
They already kind of fucked up that whole little ending to Endgame, right? Like, it looked like he was totally going to be, the as Guardians of the Galaxy, right? So, however this movie begins, he's going to obviously disband from the Guardians.
It is a good question if that was a change or not.
Or it's a time jump, which we've, again, I hate to keep saying that fucking word because it's getting a little redundant for me, but...
Yeah.
It definitely could be something to where all of a sudden, you're just in the future, and then when you do see Guardians, if they are teamed up and he is a part, then it goes back and you see it that way. But again, I don't want to keep seeing that. I don't like all these time jumps, to a point. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just getting too. You're relying too much on that, and it's getting too heavy for me. If that's the way that they're going to go.
No, totally.
I want to see a fluent story. They've set it up perfectly at the end of Endgame if that was going to be a Guardians movie first. Now, maybe that was the original plan, but then, like Steve said, once James Gunn was in negotiations, obviously working on the Suicide Squad, and that postponed everything. Because when he actually already said
not
yes
in
to
negotiations, he got fired. He got fucking fired.
Well, he got fired
for his
he
decided
to do
tweets.
The Suicide Squad, and then as soon as he decided to do that, just within a few months later, he got his job back.
No, dude, it was honestly it was almost a year,
it was like
dude.
It was like 6 months.
Dude,
6 to 8 months, right?
Almost a year, bro. Almost a year.
Yeah, he was gone a while.
Almost a year, dude. Because
but
he's
I feel like it was announced almost a year, but there was talks well within that time frame.
I feel like it was established he was coming back within Marvel. I think it was just kind of a let's let this die out, and
let's let the media masses calm down a bit.
It was just so insane to think that they are going to take this director who did amazing things and was going to be the front runner for the next phase in the cosmic universe. He was going to basically be the overlord of the plot points.
Yeah, but.
And then
it is what it is. He had to pay a price for what he did on Twitter, dude. Like, I went through and I saw all the tweets that they had to resurface. You can't be doing that, dude. When you're a fucking highly established Hollywood director, you got to hold yourself to a certain standard.
This is actual question. Was he even a high director?
No, this was a decade ago that he did those.
Honestly, dude, when you go on social media, bro, you got to hold yourself accountable from day fucking one, bro.
Oh,
so
definitely.
No, I'm not giving excuses. I'm just saying.
That's just society.
No. You're absolutely right. Like, he said, like, this was a different time. I actually feel really bad about it. Like he went out forth and he apologized and this and that. But the problem is it is what it is, and honestly, some fucking weird ass anti fan or whatever did his homework and resurfaced these tweets to actually make it become apparent. So,
wow,
it is what it is. It was a huge mess, and it totally what's crazy is that the outcry from the cast as far as signing a huge almost like a petition where they were just. Almost threatening Disney. I mean, obviously, Dave Bautista threatened that he didn't want to be a part of Disney.
He was really
forward.
the vocal one. Everyone else is very neutral, really, to be honest.
But they all signed a fucking petition saying that they want a gun back. They want a gun back. They signed that petition. So, Pratt, freaking Zoe, what's her face that plays Gamora, signed it. Everyone signed it, dude. So
I would have signed it.
Yeah, I would have signed it. I would have signed it as well because
why didn't they ask?
When you go back and you look at the tweets, it's something that he probably should have been punished for or fined. I think honestly he should have just been fined heavily for it, and then we just move forward because what hurts more than just taking money away from someone, right? So that'll teach him a fucking lesson. But it is what it is. So they lost a year of development, and honestly. I mean, we're comic fans. We love both sides here. Like, this is honestly a good thing for DC, because hopefully he does a great job with the Suicide Squad film. So
yeah, I mean, as fans, we're
for me, it's a win-win.
We're rewarded by this because now we get him in both franchises.
Exactly.
So
hopefully he was able to actually focus on Suicide Squad amidst all the drama that was there with Guardians as far as his firing goes with Disney. Hopefully, that movie, pans out well for DC. Obviously, I mean, Ryan and I talked to this about before. The first iteration of Suicide Squad was there was very much more there to be wanted. So we'll see. But anywho, I'm glad he's back. Yeah, I mean, for him, he literally, honestly, I feel like he almost, I don't want to say he saved Marvel movies, but he helped take the franchise to new levels. And in that, we got to be grateful for that. So, glad that he's back for sure.
Yeah, he was just an example of taking the right director, giving him a no-name cast.
Yeah.
Well, not cast, but no-name.
He's no Kevin Spacey.
Group of characters,
How about that?
and you can make them the biggest thing.
Yeah. And just for anybody who was curious about this movie, too, it's explained that they're pulling from the comic storyline called The Mighty Thor, which was written by Jason Aaron.
Hell yeah.
For the film story. So if anybody's not familiar, and that's obviously, again, introducing the female Thor for the first time within that comic book, but if anybody wanted to kind of just briefly go and skim over that, just to kind of get an idea of what we may see with some of the material, that's a great way to just kind of introduce yourself to the concept and have a little fun with it.
So are you super bummed that it's Natalie Portman and not what's-her-face that played Brienne of Tarth?
Yes,
because that would have been an amazing Lady Thor.
Seriously, she is Thor.
She is fucking Thor. That would have been dope.
Honestly, dude, I would have loved anybody other than Natalie Portman to be female Thor.
I really feel like they should have let Tessa Thompson,
right? What the fuck?
Use Valkyrie, because it's not like they haven't taken characters and drastically changed the plots.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman left.
You could swing that over
for whatever
fans.
reason. She decided she was not going to do anymore. It sounds like they had to really win her over with the vision of the director, and I don't know. It just
she looks so fucking stupid.
I just feel like it's kind of disrespectful to.
She looks like such an
does.
idiot.
She honestly,
it just seems disrespectful.
It's not. It's nothing against her. She's too short.
Like Tessa Thompson, she's
a badass.
She's done a few movies.
She's a badass.
She clearly wants to be a part of this universe. It made sense to me to make her become female Thor, which I know. It seems like we're not supposed to call her.
She's
that.
a strong actress, dude. You guys seen her in the Creed movies? She's fantastic in those movies.
Yeah. She was great.
Yeah, I agree, Steve. I feel it's a miss because you could totally rewrite this character to be applicable for this, and I feel like fans would honestly. I mean, obviously, hardcore fans might be a little bit pissed, but the majority would totally accept that. So, yeah, I'm a little bit bummed that it is not Tessa Thompson.
Yeah.
I
know, man.
So
it's just one of those things that it's gonna bug me.
Especially how Endgame ended. And she was like the queen of Asgard, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and now they've confirmed her, I think, to be one of the first lesbian or bisexual characters in the MCU too, because they said
but
she's
they
going to be
kind
looking
of already
for her
did
queen.
that.
Yeah,
I mean, Ragnarok. I feel like it was heavily implied in her flashback war scene that she was in a relationship with a woman.
Yeah, which is great.
Oh, wow, I didn't get that at all.
Oh, I thought it was pretty clear.
No, it was pretty clear because
it reminded me more of the Amazons from Wonder Woman. It was just a group of powerful women. It didn't make me seem.
I mean, at the very least, I felt like it was like a bisexual character. But I mean, either way,
that just means that we all assume that all the Amazons were definitely gay.
Yeah, I definitely didn't say that, Mike, but okay, buddy, whatever, man.
Dude, when you're on an all-female island with a bunch of Amazons on the Amalfi Coast, you know what I'm saying?
That's a romantic fucking place.
Hell yeah, why not? Why not explore boundaries and let's take a chance. Let's take a chance on the wild side.
But yeah, that's great that they're
I agree.
labeling
I like it.
her the first. This will be the first movie that they have that kind of character, but I still feel like they already had that character in Ragnarok. Obviously, it's the same character, but I don't know. It seems like it's just more like a headline rather than like something new.
Yeah. Like, her relationship with Hulk was just so funny in Ragnarok, because she honestly, like, it was like she looked at Hulk like he was like a giant fluffy puppy or something. Like, it was like it was so funny.
Yeah, no, she wasn't scared of him at all.
She wasn't scared of him at all. She was like entertained, and she just like loved
definitely
him.
one of the best parts of Ragnarok, in my opinion.
Yeah, she was great. Her introduction coming off the ship as a scavenger, just falling off the fucking platform, just like,
kind of like us.
No, guys, this is my catch. Fuck off.
It was
This
definitely
is my
me
man.
last episode. Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, I'm excited. This is what coming out in November 2021. So this is it, right, Ryan? This is gonna conclude Phase 4. Which,
That will conclude Phase 4. Yeah.
I mean, did they establish that was like it? I mean, is there no room for any surprise?
I mean, here's November.
movie or show drop. Probably more so a movie.
there.
than a
I mean,
show.
Steve, there's a surprise, but Ryan, are we ready for it?
Oh yeah, but
I mean, are we ready for it?
But real quick with Thor,
God damn it, Steve.
what do you guys think they're going to go with this? Do you think it's going to be like she's taking over and will be that character going forward for a while, or I feel like this is more of a
It's a one and done.
one movie, and I feel like Chris Hemsworth will become Thor again by the end of this movie.
Well,
and
they're both Thor.
to give the plot of that comic, but it will.
Hold up. He is Thor. This whole concept, Lady Thor, is like it's not an official
I know,
fucking
it's
title.
ridiculous.
Like, she's going to be her own
he's
thing.
actually Thor.
She's just going to be turned in.
That's his name.
She's just going to be fucking anointed as an Asgardian, right? Like, with godlike powers, like whatever.
Well, I mean,
She's going to be able to be. She's going to be. So what I heard was that she's going to go through something where she's going to go through like an illness or something. Is that what it is?
Some metamorphosis.
yeah. So
Yes.
in the comic, she has cancer.
She has cancer, right? And she's going to become worthy. And then at that point, whatever, something's going to happen. She's going to be worthy of Mjolnir, and she's going to be able to fucking wield that thing like Captain America was. So
I hate it.
that's what I got.
Basically,
I can't stand it.
Yeah, basically, Thor's told something by Nick Fury that makes him unworthy because it's so devastating that it like makes him question everything.
What does Nick Fury know about Asgardians?
I can't remember what it was, but it's something impacting him, and then so he no longer is worthy, and somehow the hammer finds its way to Jane Foster as she's going through treatment for cancer, and basically it's like a play on this power is what keeps her from losing the fight to cancer, and so it's kind of like it's very symbolic and all that stuff, and at some point I believe he gets the power back and becomes worthy again. I don't
know. I mean, that sounds like a great. I know you're going down the whole like, oh my god, you're about to lose someone. This is like the one way to actually hold on to them. So, like this would be the one way to save someone. So like that, that would be really touching for sure.
But we have no idea if they're even going to go that route. That might be too dark for what they want to do.
That's not dark. That's just fucking. That's honestly how touching it was to see Star-Lord's mom, die of cancer early on.
That's you know what you're right.
So
they did do that.
They did that beautifully, and I thought that was beautifully done, and it was emotional, and it was still, like it had great, it translated very well on film, and I felt even more connected to Star-Lord's character because of that, because it was more attached to the human element. So yeah, hopefully, honestly, I think you're on the right track. I hope they do kind of do something like that, because from where Ryan and I kind of stand right now, we're just disappointed that it's Natalie Portman. So
there's multiple ideas that people have.
Yeah.
One is it's going to be a multiverse version of Thor, and then the other is that I don't think they're going to go
There's only one Thor.
Unworthy.
There's only one Thor.
I think he's going to give up. I think he's going to like gift it to her if that's a thing that's possible. Because
that's true.
Kind of like you alluded to, the relationship would be kind of a good dynamic with this. Like how she's dealing with this and like his relationship with her. This would be a great way to reintroduce her, because It can be something as simple as she has cancer. Somehow he finds out. Maybe he feels a need to reach out to her, or
No, totally.
Something meaningful to kind of like rekindle
Dude,
that relationship.
I'm gonna already
remind
say
fans that
they have to.
they had something important.
They have to absolutely do it because they got to win fans over too. Because honestly, like I was saying, regardless of this being Natalie Portman, she's kind of been missing from the MCU for the past, I don't know, freaking 3-4 films as far as Thor's been involved in. So they got to do something to kind of fill that gap to connect with the audience. So I feel like you're on the right track. I feel like they're gonna do something to make us care about her again. So yeah, I absolutely agree.
So they had to use past footage and a stunt double for fucking Endgame for Natalie Portman's scene when they went back to Asgard, and then all of a sudden, what? She just decides, I'll fucking do the role again?
So
Fuck that, dude.
It could be as simple as they.
So I'm so confused on that, Ryan,
because they had the footage they could use. And it was just cost effective.
Did she fucking appear in the movie or not?
She did not.
From my understanding, it was
all
from
recycled.
Dark World.
Correct.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, dude.
But at the same time, too, they could have intentionally done that so that
so that pisses me off because fucking Gwyneth Paltrow literally wants to be so done with the MCU, but like she's still stuck in there and fucking realized that her role was bigger than herself. So she fucking finished the job, dude. And at this point, if she wants to disband, that's fine. She did enough as Pepper Potts. That's
dude.
That's fine. She finished the role. Like the fact that Natalie Portman did not finish her fucking role pisses me off.
Thank you. That's all I've been looking for. That's exactly what frustrates me.
That's how I want to end this segment. Is that it's just like she thought that she was bigger than the world that she was in, and that's what pisses us off. Is that the fact that she didn't just fucking finish the like you're along for a ride when you sign up for like a comic book film. Less alone, I mean, more or less, that it's the MCU, for God's sake. Like they're gonna want you in multiple films from here on out for the next 5-10 plus years, and you literally just cop out like literally less than 5 years into it. No, that's not cool. Not cool.
Yeah, bitch move, man.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I just hope that my personal preference, I don't want to see them do the route that Thor becomes unworthy, and that's why she takes over.
I don't think they will.
Because that, in my opinion, takes away from the character development that you just put through Ragnarok all the way through Endgame.
Yeah,
they made it such a big deal.
You have that line in Endgame where he gets the hammer back and he goes, "I'm still worthy." Like he's excited. He's relieved. It's like a burden is like lifted off of him.
Yeah.
So if you then go and go, actually,
dude,
you're not worthy.
I mean,
after all,
let's just take a time right now and just fucking give a huge shout out to Anthony Hopkins and Rene Russo for actually finishing off their characters, because Rene Russo, I mean, she had not been seen as well as Thor's mom since Thor: The Dark World, and she actually showed up in Endgame, which was fucking awesome. And then obviously Odin's character gets a nice send off in Ragnarok, which is fantastic. So Anthony Hopkins, they all did. Like it was almost like Natalie Portman, like she almost like acted like she wasn't treated well. So for her to come back, it just, and for me, it's kind of like a bullshit move. So yeah, I agree with you, Ryan. Like when I first heard about this, I was a little bit pissed, and now I'm just getting even more heated. And I'm just like,
I'm actually enjoying the fire that I'm feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling. I totally understand where you're coming from.
No, like it's just like you think you're bigger than the fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe, or let alone the Marvel characters that have been brilliantly fucking written and fleshed out throughout the last 50 plus years. Like, no, go fuck yourself.
Yes, Mike. No. This is what I wanted.
No, like I'm sorry. Like people bitch about like the environment of movies today about, oh, I'm so tired of seeing fucking superhero movies. Like, dude, fuck off. They deserve to fucking be here. It's been an incredible medium to see comics grow for so long, that to see it now being, like for me growing up, like my literal interpretation of comics was through obviously reading through comic books, but collecting Marvel comic cards. And now just to be able to like have shows and fucking movies is a fucking dream come true. So yeah, dude, like I'm dude, I'm just, I'm like, it's an honor. It's a fucking honor to be included into those franchises. So don't take that shit for granted.
Yeah.
I do want to say, I completely agree with you.
I'm not yelling. I'm not yelling at you,
I want to
Steve.
throw this out there, devil's advocate.
Yeah.
They did sign, this was phase 1. They did sign these people without really knowing where this truly was going to go.
So
hindsight, this is a great thing, but at the time, these people didn't know if this was like, a failure or not.
Agree with you.
And given Star Wars Episode 1 through 3 that she did commit to a 3-movie saga, and they weren't really received the greatest, I'm sure she was probably hesitant to begin with that.
All right, so this is where I'm going to just fucking go fan ape shit here. So here's the deal. Iron Man comes out 2008, as well as a couple months later, Incredible Hulk comes out. At the end of Iron Man, you get a fucking end scene that obviously shows the introduction to Nick Fury saying, hey man, we got this Avengers team we're assembling. Boom. We're building the fucking MCU, right? At the end of Incredible Hulk, or whatever, Edward Norton had his own fucking issues as well as far as contract deals, but whatever. That movie is still connected to the MCU as well, because obviously at the end of that movie, Robert Downey is then connected to General Ross's character, which is the only canon character that we see from the other MCU movies as far as his interactions with Robert Downey and Tony Stark. So from that point, at the end of Iron Man 2, which I believe is literally after... I mean, we don't get another Marvel movie until after Incredible Hulk, right? Which is Iron Man 2. At the end of Iron Man 2, that end scene actually ends with what you are first introduced to Agent Coulson, who then, at that end scene of that movie, then finds Mjolnir out in a desert somewhere, right? So at that point... they knew that they were signing up for something that was bigger, that was going to be lasting for a project base of 5+ fucking years. So don't tell me she didn't fucking know. She absolutely fucking did. Or she signed up for that shit.
You're now in the present, and they probably asked, hey, do you want to be in Avengers Endgame? And she obviously said no, because they used digital footage of her for that scene. Or maybe it was a price thing, but... I mean, I don't know. She had other opportunities.
Can't be a price thing, dude, because people got priced out. So, Edward Norton obviously wanted
his choice.
He wanted
makes my point.
He wanted more money.
He was greedy about what he wanted more money. I think that was a bigger part of it.
So did Terrence Howard, who played obviously Jimmy Rhodes or whatever, who's War Machine. He was the same deal, right? And I'm telling you right now, these actors absolutely are regretting their fucking decisions. Absolutely.
You would think so.
I think, dude, Don Cheadle and fucking Mark Ruffalo are reaping the benefits of we're going to see Mark Ruffalo again as Hulk. It's going to happen. Okay, so
it just sucks we're never going to see solo Hulk movies with the situation with Paramount.
So
it's unfortunate.
That's the only downside. He's always going to be lumped into somebody else's movie.
So that's the thing. I mean, Paramount still owns ownership over Hulk?
They have distribution rights, so basically Marvel loses money off
every time he appears?
Any movie that they make of the Hulk.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why it didn't work out with the MCU Hulk, because it didn't do the greatest in theaters, and also they lost money just off distribution.
I fucking love that movie, dude. That's the first time you actually hear him talk.
In his own movies. It's always... that's why... Ragnarok was essentially Planet Hulk.
Yep.
Redone within Thor.
No, dude, they totally need to fucking do more Hulk movies. I want to see Red Hulk. They need to keep going with Hulk movies for sure.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, they need to figure that out, because whatever it is contractually they got to do, dude. The risks, the risks definitely outweigh the benefits. So I mean, as far as the benefits outweigh the risks, they totally got to do it for sure.
Yep.
I always thought it would be nice if they did. They led up to a World War Hulk.
Oh hell yeah!
He ended up being kind of
that'd be dope.
Antagonist of the movie.
That would be dope. That would be cool.
But they can't really do it now with what they do with Endgame.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they can, but...
They could.
They can do anything, man.
They kind of did that.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Fuck you, Paramount. Fuck you, fuck
All right,
you, fuck you.
Hey, that's going to be it for Phase 4, guys. I think we went into a lot of great detail about what we're going to see. We obviously have 8 programs that are going to be coming down from now until 2021, and all of which are going to be very different and entertaining in their own light. So, again, like you stated, Mike, I feel very fortunate that we're alive during this day and age where we're getting so much content, which is the
you're right.
the main focus of this segment. And, really pumped.
Okay,
So,
before we take a break, are we going to lead into the last announcement, or are we going to save it?
We're going to save it. And
Okay, let's save it.
We're going to intro into it right after this break. So everybody just hang tight.
We'll be back.
We will be right back.
Well, hello. I see you're still listening to this ridiculous podcast, and I'm not sure why. If I were you, I would have stopped listening a long time ago. Oh well, it's your time, not mine. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you. Some people.
And we're back from that little potty break.
Guess
That was
who's
much
back
needed.
again.
I had to empty the old bladder real bad, and for not drinking a ton of alcohol, it was brutal.
I timed it. That was literally a piss that lasted longer than a minute 45. That was crazy.
Oh, that's a movie theater pee.
Yeah,
You know, when
I
you're
might-
holding on for so long, and then you just...
Your piss break needed
Maybe,
a piss break.
yeah, exactly. Maybe I need to go see a doctor. I'm not sure. I don't know.
So, Mike, Steve, we call this a Comic Con episode, and you know, within that title, I guess it's probably people are thinking that we're going to give pretty fair and equal time to both Marvel and DC, but I got to tell you, that is just not going to be the case.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen. You are going to be sorely disappointed. In fact,
If you are a huge DC fan,
yeah, you're a huge
gonna
DC
fucking hate
fan.
us.
You came to the wrong show, buddy. Or more or less, Comic Con just disappointed you this year. Maybe it's that.
yeah, it wasn't
it's
us. It wasn't
Because
us. We didn't do it to you.
I mean, we're coming back from the break right away, and let's just get into it. Like, let's talk about that final Marvel announcement for their send off.
Yes, please.
So,
oh, my dear Lord.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but for me, what kind of started it all, as far as like, hey man, Marvel Comics has a great track record. Maybe this would be a great idea to bring it into film. And in 1999's rendition of the first actual official Marvel comic movie that we got from an actual character, not anything outside of Men in Black, which was obviously, you know, a Marvel comic that was adapted for feature film, we got the one and only Wesley Snipes playing Blade. And the Blade series itself, for me, is like OG freaking Marvel, as far as the original, what kind of started it all. It has nothing to do with the MCU whatsoever, but as far as, you know, you don't have the X-Men series that came out in like 2000 if you didn't have Blade. So yeah, man, that's what they announced. They announced that they're going to tie in to MCU. They're going to have Blade, man, and no other. This is what actually shocks me, is that we're going to get a 2-time Academy Award winner who is absolutely an incredible actor. I mean, if you have not seen any of his work, stemming from, you know, Moonlight to True Detective Season 3, or the Best Picture, you know, winner of this past year, Green Book, Mahershala Ali is, for me,
amazing.
He's an incredible actor, and like you were saying earlier about Steve, who you mentioning that contacted to be? No, wait, I'm sorry. Was it the actor that wanted to be Shang-Chi that contacted Marvel? Same thing happened here, man. Mahershala had actually contacted Marvel,
I didn't know that
he wanted to play Blade about maybe a year or so ago, and here we are. Lo and behold, it's getting announced, bro. It's happening, and I'm fucking stoked, dude. I love this character. This character is awesome. In so many ways. Not so much did it also spawn the whole superhero genre. I honestly feel like it honestly spawned the whole vampire genre as well, as far as reinventing it, you know, as far as, you know, seeing a different side of it. So, yeah, man, the Ultimate Vampire Hunter is back, and I'm stoked, dude. Like, they could, I mean, I'm nothing against Wesley Snipes and his acting abilities. He's incredible. His martial arts abilities were fantastic, and there's, I mean, to this day, like, some of the action scenes in those movies are fantastic, as well as, you know, the score to those movies as well, like some of the greatest tracks and mixes, as far as, like, you know, I don't even want to say like you know, later day techno or whatever, but some good fucking music. So yeah, man, I'm stoked. I'm freaking stoked, and that's how they ended it. They made the announcement. I am assuming this is Phase 5, has nothing to do with Phase 4. So, yeah, we're going to get Blade at some point. I am assuming at the end of 2021 or maybe 2022, but whatever. It's happening. It's going to happen, and we'll see. There's already some rumor mills going around right now that maybe that some shape or form they can get Wesley Snipes in this movie somehow to play some character. Obviously not Blade, but maybe like a Whistler type or something. So,
Yeah.
Who knows, man? This is awesome. Super stoked. Blade's an awesome character, so I'm excited. And like you were saying earlier about Doctor Strange being obviously a more of a darker tone as far as being more thriller horror. Blade itself is honestly more geared toward that as well. So hopefully it's more of an action thriller, I hope. And with that, yeah, man. I mean, what do you guys think? You guys stoked?
Give me the Daywalker, bud. Just give me a new Daywalker.
Yes.
I'm so fucking excited for this.
Yeah, dude.
I was a huge fan of all the Blade movies. I mean, I know people had their gripes, about it, come Blade Trinity within, 2004.
Yeah, that's the only one I kind of just discount because I'm just like, eh.
No, I know, but,
because you want to know why. I mean, Blade 2 itself is directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Yep.
So, for me, Blade 2, honestly, in so many ways, I actually appreciate it more than Blade 1. Obviously, Blade is what started it, but I think Blade 2 is a fantastic movie, and I freaking love what they did with the vampires as far as, like, evolving what a vampire, could potentially evolve into. So, like, those renditions of those vampires, those creatures or whatever, were fucking awesome. So...
Did you know in the comic book a notable alias of his is actually Ronin?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. All right.
Which is interesting to think about.
Yeah, like
because
a samurai.
It's definitely within the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got Ronin, which is Hawkeye's very, interpretation of him, and then you have Ronin, who's also Blade. So
that's cool.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I don't know if there's any relationship within the comic book of something way back when it was created. I believe it was, 1973, I think it saw first appearance in something called the Tomb of Dracula.
No, you're right, dude. He's totally the vampire samurai hunter. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So, kind of cool little relation there, just a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, I have nothing bad to say about this. This is just something that I'm really looking forward to. The acting, I can already tell you, is going to be phenomenal. He's definitely a character actor who just really dives into whatever he's given. I think lately I just saw him, he was in Luke Cage and season 1.
Yeah, Cottonmouth.
Yep, and he was fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you could see this as a statement from Marvel that forget the Netflix series. Like, they are the past. We are moving forward. We will even take our actors from those shows and reassign them.
You know what's funny? I actually thought that the Luke Cage season 1, after the Cottonmouth character actually died, I was just like, dude, this series just went downhill real quick, real fast. And that season hadn't even ended yet. And I'm like, fuck, this sucks.
You know what I want?
Yeah,
I want
he's so good.
I want a Blade Morbius movie.
Ooh, stop it. That's it. You're getting my Mikey tingle all excited.
Somebody's going to have to make some negotiations then if they want to have Blade on that end.
Yeah, Sony's going to have to...
they already got their solo Morbius movie coming out.
I would love to see some interaction with those two characters. I think that would be a fucking really...
Yeah, that would be...
interesting way to go about it. I think that would be a lot of fucking fun to watch.
Yeah, especially with Jared Leto playing Morbius, so that's pretty cool. No, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. So that's the big announcement that ended, Marvel's, showcase, I guess you want to say, at Comic Con. And dude, where do you want to lead to now?
This was not official this is not Phase 4. This is most likely Phase 5.
So
I believe.
Kevin Feige said, and I'll just mention this briefly, he said that they actually had decided maybe days before Comic Con what exactly they were going to announce, because they actually, I think what he was alluding to was they actually already have more than half planned out for Phase 5. They just don't want to announce anything yet. And he already said, really quickly off the tip of his tongue, yes, Black Panther 2 is in the works, Captain Marvel 2 is in the works. Yes, obviously,
Avengers 5.
We know
Avengers 5. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is in the works. These are all confirmed. They're happening. We just didn't want to announce an official timeline as to when this stuff is coming out. So, I thought.
And we still have D23 coming up, so
Yeah, who knows?
who knows what? Maybe they'll announce something there.
Exactly. So yeah, that's going to wrap up Marvel. But yeah, what a great way to end it.
So
Huge surprise.
Let's give 3 hours now to DC. Ready, go.
All right, cool. So I'm super stoked for Ryan. What did they announce that Swamp Thing got re-signed or no? No,
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
I was kind of bummed that they didn't say anything about that. But
Is there
whatever.
any news on Aquaman 2 or where are we at right now? Any Wonder Woman 1984? Was there any of that even?
You know, that actually is a great question. I actually didn't see
I didn't see shit.
coming from DC.
No, the movie side for DC was absent from this year's.
I almost feel
Comic-Con.
like DC got bought out by Marvel this Comic Con because not a great showing in my opinion.
Which is maybe
they paid them more than the box office to not show up.
Well, you know what though? That may be a strategy of theirs. They could have
could
known
be.
that why put up all these things when all these amazing Marvel things are going to outshine them and not get their full attention they want. I mean,
True.
that could have been very much strategic. You know what I mean? To release them at a separate time that gives them their own kind of attention and homage, other than being like, all right, well, that was, Marvel's lineup, which was the most incredible lineup I feel like they've had in a very long time, and then be like, all right, and here comes DC. You know what I mean? Like,
all right, so we have the final season of Arrow coming up this year, and following up with that, I think we have an announcement about Supergirl, and I think we have another announcement about the Batwoman series. So stay tuned, everyone.
Stay tuned, everyone. Yeah, I mean, that was literally what it was. It was a lot of TV show news.
Yeah.
So we, like you
Kind
said,
of a
we got
bummer.
the last season of Arrow coming to an end, which obviously that was a huge show that got everything started for the CW, bringing in all these other characters. Supergirl didn't even start on the CW. I believe it was CBS, and then got dropped after the first season, and then got picked up on
Flash
CW.
season 6 that got announced too.
Yep, and the villain is going to be Bloodwork, I believe is the villain. And that's going to be somebody brand new coming in to play that role, obviously. And that's, oh God, all these names. Senhil Ramamurthy's?
I have no idea.
He was I believe he was, oh God, he was in Lost.
Oh, yeah. The God, I hate for lack of better vocabulary. The Indian actor. He was great.
Yes, correct.
I forget
so
his name.
They're bringing him in as actually the main villain, which is, I gotta
Nice.
say, they've been able to bring in at least some big name actors within the Flash, which has been actually really nice because some of the storyline is obviously very soft and weak in comparison to what we see, obviously on their own network shows that DC gives us, or just anything movie related. It's all very PG, right? So it's kind of like I don't know, it's the soap opera of comic book stuff, but.
That's why I don't want to watch any of those CW series because I know it's not going to be dark enough.
Flash. No, it's not dark enough. It isn't. I'll tell you that right now. But I have watched every episode of The Flash. I do like that character in general. They've done Flashpoint. They've gone into some different kind of comic book things that I really enjoy, that I found entertaining when I read the comic books back in the day. I like Arrow because that's the darkest out of all of them. But they are bringing in Batgirl. And I got to tell you,
interesting.
just from the little bit that we did get of her in this last season, when they did a crossover. Thank you. So when they did a crossover,
But
they
it's
actually took
actually
her to Gotham. It's the
it's
Eververse.
Batwoman, not Batgirl.
Or Batwoman.
Yeah, just so people aren't mad at you and send you emails that you should kill
I
yourself
feel
or
like I
something.
fucking just need to say some outlandish stuff to get people mad at me to fucking send me something at this point. I feel like that's the only way I'm going to get people just over here. I just have to say something just totally just ridiculous just to get them pissed off.
Well, just say you hate cats, and then definitely Steve will write into you. That's
I
for
don't
sure.
hate cats.
Well, just lie, damn it.
It's got to be.
I'm already.
See,
writing.
there you go. There you go. It's happening.
Oh
See?
God! All right, so
Express mail. You'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah, doing great. Thanks. So again, TV shows dominated the DC news.
Totally.
Besides the Flash, we got an animated Harley Quinn series that's actually getting a lot of publicity right now. That's going to be Haley Cuoco, who was in The Big Bang Theory, voicing Harley Quinn. I mean, one of the quotes from Harley Quinn in this says, "It's me, dickhead." So if that has any indication that this series is not for kids. It is not for kids. This is an adult animated series I think that's why a lot of people are more excited for this than really any of the other actual CW series, to be honest.
Is that going to be on the DC Universe streaming app?
You know what? I'm not actually sure. If I had to guess, yes.
I feel so.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be.
Is all of that content coming to the HBO Max service that they're planning?
I don't think all of it.
Is there any incentive to truly,
honestly,
subscribe?
Dude,
it's such a hot mess, dude.
Dude, it's such a hot mess. They got to merge that shit because Doom Patrol you said was coming to HBO Max.
Yep.
And yeah, dude, I honestly feel like they should just bring all their shit over to just. I don't know. I don't think having a baseline subscription package just for your DC content alone is enough. I mean, look what Disney's going to do, dude. So it's literally not just Marvel.
They're going to destroy.
It's also Disney properties. So yeah, it's going to have a lot more than just Marvel shit.
Yep, exactly. So going into that, there's obviously, like you just said, Doom Patrol got picked up for a second season, and that will be streaming on HBO Max and DC Universe. Young Justice, another animated series, is coming back now for a fourth season. Supergirl's coming in there for, I believe, season 5. Black Lightning is coming in for season 3. So again, a lot of TV shows that are doing really well for itself that are, obviously getting enough traction to where they're making the 5th, 6th, 7th season, which is it's a big deal.
Hey, Batman!
People are tuning in.
Batman Beyond, the animated series, is finally releasing on Blu-ray. That's kind of exciting. But that, to me, that's not a Comic Con announcement.
No, that is not a Comic Con announcement.
That is an average Tuesday announcement by any means.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I think they did maybe drop a little bit more information about the Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker.
Dude, so all they showed was Todd Phillips had released maybe 2-3 photos, which are fantastic.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's what I'm getting at.
That's great.
Some photos of it, yeah.
But nothing, no new trailer. But I'm actually a little bit excited about that because I don't want to see anything else. I really don't.
I was going to say the same thing. I'm glad I don't want to actually see anymore. The more I actually see that trailer and talk about it, I'm totally fine with them just giving what they gave us and leave it at that.
I agree.
And I want to go in totally just thrown off and just guessing what they're going to do.
Yep.
Absolutely. That'll make for a much better time at the movies for me, at least. So
very underwhelming.
It's underwhelming. DC was underwhelming. I honestly, I don't know. I had no wind for these sales. You know what I mean? I had no motivation to go deep into really the DC stuff because in comparison, we didn't get really anything. I don't know. I don't want to say anything good, but kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing new. Nothing new and exciting, I should say, other than that animated series and the Batwoman series.
So what's interesting is it just comes to DC Universe Films or whatever. What do we got, man? I mean, what's on the docket? I mean, we had Shazam, which was a pretty damn good movie, and then we're getting Wonder Woman 1980. Okay, so that's what's coming up.
We have
nothing.
2,
we got nothing on that. That's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I have to imagine, like I said, they're probably going to release that at a later con. And it might be the next one that you were referring to, Steve.
But that's Disney. That's D23. That's totally Disney. So that's not.
Yeah, that's all Disney. They wouldn't have that there.
So I don't know, man. But they have to. They have to be strategic. There's no fucking way.
What is the release date for Wonder Woman 1984? 'Cause wasn't it delayed?
Oh, I didn't hear about any delay.
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on. When is
delayed? I don't know how late, but I feel like it was.
Steve or Ryan, when the hell is WonderCon?
WonderCon was last March.
Fuck. So that's already
because I was at WonderCon, and that was obviously nothing. So
all right. So
nothing within that news. Yeah. So there was just they didn't give us a lot, man.
Moving on, I guess.
Yeah. Well, good because the other topics are way better anyway. So let's go over Chapter 2.
Yeah, dude. You teased that the day before our last podcast. So that trailer dropped last Thursday, the day 1 of Comic Con.
Sure did.
Fuck, man. So here's my take on it. I like that they I mean, obviously they showed more imagery and more setup as far as, I like how they did the introduction of showing the reintroduction of the Losers Club and seeing like the kids now adults. Yeah. That was a good little quick refresher just to kind of get you hyped for the new movie. So Everything I saw, I was like, okay, I'm ready to use September 6th. Can't come around soon enough. So I'm
did
so
you notice the carnival scene?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah,
hell yeah.
Just when he's walking through the house of fucking mirrors and shit, I'm just like, hell yeah, dude.
So if anybody didn't know, the mini-series, which was very successful and it was very entertaining, they cut out that actual sequence from the book within the carnival. And that's a pretty iconic actual point within the book. And so when I watched the miniseries, that was a little disappointing for me. I wish they had that. So now going into this movie and just seeing the little bit of footage that we got from the trailer, ooh, man, it gave me goosebumps, bro. It gave me goosebumps real bad.
That's cool. I mean, come on. I mean, this is a clown we're talking about, so let's see him in a circus environment. Let's go.
Right? Yeah. This is him in his element, right? And we're all just going to be just toys and puppets, and he's going to just pull the strings on everything. It's gonna be wild.
No, that's awesome for sure. And yeah, man. I mean, honestly, I think this movie. I hope it's way better than. I'm not going to say way better because I love the first one as well. But I'm hoping that it's going to be even better by all means because the actors are great, right? So all the way from Jessica Chastain to. Oh my god, I'm blanking on his name.
Fucking McAvoy, dude?
Yeah, dude. Give me McAvoy. Hell yeah. Bill Hader. And
Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah, obviously Skarsgård does an incredible Pennywise. So
God, he's so good. When I first
creepy.
saw him, and before any footage, pictures, whatever, I was like, all right, well, he is a kind of a bigger smile. I guess they can put some... I gotta say, dude, he plays that character extremely well.
Yeah, totally. So what'd you guys think of the Top Gun trailer, huh? That was a little throwback.
Yeah. Ageless Tom Cruise, again, Scientology. The face actor of Scientology.
I have a confession.
Oh, no.
I'm going to keep singing this song.
Why? Stop.
I've never seen Top Gun.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Really?
Well, here's the thing.
I had the NES game.
I have probably...
but I have never seen the movie.
Dude, the NES game is fucking terrible. It's so bad.
I
always crash. I feel so stupid when I play that game. And I have probably ridden the Top Gun roller coaster ride at Paramount's Great America more than I've ever seen the film. So... yeah, the movie, the original movie is great, and I just got a bunch of nostalgic throwbacks just watching the trailer. I will say I'm super psyched that Ed Harris is in the movie. I love Ed Harris. So him replacing Tom Skerritt? No, what's his name? Played, oh man, I'm butchering his name. He was in Alien too. Tom Skerritt, I think it is. That was the first captain in Top Gun. So I like that Ed Harris is in this, being the new captain. So... yeah, I'm psyched.
Yeah, and a lot of the actual, flying and everything. He
no Iceman though, right?
Cruise did that. He really wanted to be
in the cockpit,
up in there and flying. Yeah. He didn't want it to be fake. He wanted to, do whatever he needed to do to be, legally allowed to be within one of these actual aircrafts, which I believe is an F-14 Tomcat.
Shit! Val Kilmer is in this movie. Iceman is in this movie. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but it makes me so sad. If anybody's kept up with him, he's got, a hole in his throat, and, he just looks horrible. He looks so bad.
Oh, really? So that was like a couple of years ago. Is he not kind of made a recovery at all?
No, he looks very, very just sickly. Anytime I see pictures of him, I'm just like, ugh.
Fuck.
Why Val Kilmer? Because it's not too long ago where you saw him in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and he looked good. And that was in 2005. So from 2005 till now, he's almost unrecognizable, which is bad.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
Poor guy.
But yeah, it's good to see him in this. Jennifer Connelly is back in this. It's still got a great cast, and the footage that we saw within the trailer. You can tell that there's not any CGI. Well, I shouldn't say any, but very little CGI when it comes to them up in the aircraft, and it is cool to see. You can tell now if you are familiar with planes and you do watch that trailer, you can tell that he is in the back seat of that plane, made to believe obviously that he's flying in the front, but you could tell that he is at the very tail end of those planes and he has a pilot flying for him. but that's only if you actually know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But yeah, still very cool. I was a huge fan of Top Gun just in general. It's a great movie, and to see them kind of bring it back to life for the new generations of people who may have not seen it, or, not the new generation, Steve. Maybe just you who hasn't seen Top Gun.
No, it definitely has my interest. I will go watch the original.
Yeah, totally, right?
And I will see this in theater. It looks good. Like I said, I just don't know Top Gun, but it's obviously a cult classic. Everyone loves this movie, and
yeah,
as
long as you watch it,
I just need to go watch it.
As long as you watch it with the the eyes of the 80s, you know what I mean? Like, as long as you know you're going to be seeing a 1986 movie, and you go into it, you have to really feel like, hey, I got to act like I'm in 1986, because sometimes when I watch those older movies now, I compare them to what I see these days with, just graphic design or whatever, just quality of production, and I'm just I lose interest really fast. But if I go in with the right mindset, then it's still a great movie.
It still stands up. I mean, they didn't use any miniatures or anything for the film. It's all real.
No, but I mean, again, it's the pixelation of the quality of the picture is definitely not even half of what it is now.
Well, didn't they do a 4K remaster? That should look a lot better now.
Oh, well, I didn't even see the 4K remaster. I haven't seen this movie in probably 20-odd years.
Yeah, I'd check it out again, because they did a really good job of, using actual planes and not... going the approach of using miniatures that were obviously used in either Star Wars or Alien or whatever. Like, they were pretty hell-bent on trying to, definitely use fighter pilots for sure.
Yeah, which is cool. I love that.
Fighter jets. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's exciting. I'm glad we're going to see that.
I mean, are we gonna get some Kenny Loggins songs? Are we gonna get Danger Zone or what? Like, is that gonna happen? Because
I will walk out of the movie theater if they don't play that at some point in time.
I mean, I don't even know how much, if the movie's actually better than the soundtrack or the soundtrack's better than the movie, because the soundtrack's fucking
soundtrack's
legit.
way better.
Yeah.
That is one thing I know about this movie is that song is in it.
That song
with them boys scene.
So good. I've been through Danger Zone. So
it's a go-to karaoke of mine. I start off with a little Kenny Loggins Footloose just to get people warmed up, and then I finish it off with some Danger Zone.
Fuck yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, that's coming out. I mean, I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan by any means, but I mean, it's nostalgic as hell. I definitely appreciate his earlier work. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I appreciate that he's a guy that really does want to do his own stunts and all that kind of stuff. I mean, say what you want about the guy, but he's always been, really great about doing that and bringing a little more realism to his films, which I highly respect. So not everybody can do that or wants to do that, to put their body in harm's way. So a lot of respect for that part.
It's interesting too. So they got the director of this movie, who directed not only
Joseph Kosinski.
Yeah, so he directed. He was in Tom Cruise. He directed Tom Cruise's previous sci-fi movie, Oblivion, and he also directed Tron Legacy. Which, this I don't know. This is probably be pretty damn good.
So expect some neon fighter jets.
Fuck yeah, dude. I want some Tron.
I want Tron again.
I want some fucking light cycles. Yes, bring me back a CG Jeff Bridges any day, and let's go.
Absolutely,
let's do. Absolutely. I want to see Flynn. Just that's it. Enter the grid. Hell yeah. Tell me more about The Grid, man. Let's go.
It's one of my favorite movies, dude. Not that one in general, but just Tron in general is one of my just favorite, just games, movies, everything. I fucking love Tron.
So I'm going to go on a tangent here, and I'm a little pissed that Disney fucking gave up on Tron, because I like Tron Legacy. So I don't know what their deal is. I feel like it totally could set up another movie. No, dude. Like,
when did that one come out?
Came out in 2010, dude. Like, it's 10 fucking years later.
Okay, so it's been a little while. It's almost a decade.
Toy Stories are 10 years apart for the second, third, and fourth. Like, it's gonna fucking.
But it was like,
they probably just put it on the shelf, and they'll bring it back when they have the time to let it breathe.
Tron came out in like 1980 or whatever,
dude,
81
don't
or
trip.
something.
You will in your lifetime see another Tron movie that's going to come out.
But with Jeff Bridges? With Jeff Bridges?
Not with Jeff Bridges. It's going to be a completely different cast, but.
It doesn't even exist without him.
Maybe CGI, man. He was fucking CGI the whole fucking time, so you might as well.
Nope. I'm sorry. You need Jeff Bridges. I need my Flynn.
CGI him.
No, I'm sorry. You
Well,
need
you're
the
not
real.
going to get 80-year-old Jeff Bridges fucking playing in
I don't
Tron,
care. I don't
so
care. Make it happen,
get
right?
that out of your head right now. It
No.
just be disappointment.
Nope. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I feel like there's going to be a push in the next 2-3 years that we're going to get an announcement of another Tron movie. There's been a lot of
If you write a strongly worded letter.
No, dude. There's been a lot of fan backlash for that, and yeah.
Well, they are kind of taking a breather with Star Wars. It
Yeah.
looks like in the next few years.
Perfect.
So maybe they will try and push some of these franchises that they've kind of been
Dude,
quiet
there's
with.
so much
They
to play with.
absolutely should.
Dude,
They have so much material.
Especially with how VR and AR are going to be making like a push here, as far as being a new frontier, as far as digital imagery goes. Like Tron could totally be, reintroduced to that point. So let's go. I want to see another Tron movie.
Yeah, that's a great way they
Yep.
could do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Bring it into a new generation of
Yep.
gaming.
Yep.
So
All right.
we'll
Well,
see.
hey, Top Gun Maverick, which is what it's called, is coming out June 26, 2020. So we're going to move on that. Mike, I'm going to ask you about something that I think you're very excited for. How do you feel about the new Mad Max movie coming out?
Ooh, dude.
Ooh, did I hit a
Dude.
sweet spot? I
So
feel like I hit a sweet spot.
So I never really realized that I was a Mad Max fan until obviously I saw Fury Road back in 2015? Yeah, with Tom Hardy being Mad Max this time, and obviously co-starring with Charlize Theron. Yeah, dude, like take me back to Valhalla. I want to go. Like I fucking love that movie, and the fact that George Miller is still the original director and he actually announced. I wasn't necessarily at Comic Con, but this is probably earlier this week. That it's in the works that they're going to be making multiple movies. So I'm super stoked for that.
So you never watched any of the Mel Gibson?
I've seen the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, once I saw this movie, so for me, like, this is a great movie that was a new movie for a new generation. And for me, I totally saw this film and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back and watch the original Mel Gibson ones. And I watched those and loved that as well. So
Yeah, they're great, aren't they?
they're great. But this movie itself, like the whole fact that this whole film takes place where you're literally almost in a moving vehicle the whole fucking time is just so fucking intense. Like, I love the way...
It's the exact opposite of phone booth.
Yeah, dude. Yes. It's so good, dude. Like, it's frantic as fuck, and I love it. There's not a dull moment in the film. So, I'm excited. I want to see more of these characters, and give me more Tom Hardy as Mad Max for sure.
God,
And
he did a great job, didn't he? I mean,
he did a fantastic job, dude.
he did
Dude,
so
I
well.
love it.
I
You know
had so
how
much
much
fun
I love
watching
that guy. I love Tom Hardy. I mean, I thought everyone kind of got on him about his interpretation of Bane. I still thought it was on point.
Dude, I loved
and
it.
Fucking awesome.
I loved it. I just watched that movie last week again.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't even care. It
I
makes
mean-
perfect sense in my mind. So fuck all you guys who think it's lame. So there's that.
That's right. That's right, man.
Yeah.
I know. I thought he was awesome. All right, so again, these are just really quick little tidbits, just so people know that they're out there. The next one I want to talk about is the announcement. I'm going to let you take this one too, Mike. Terminator announcement. Go for it.
So yeah, freaking got announced. Like I believe before the Terminator Dark Fate panel that, dude, you ready for this? Eddie Furlong, original John Connor actor, who, yeah, man, he's had a pretty rough life ever since his appearance in T2 and then after American History X, as far as being an orphan kid and being an actor where he, people were obviously fighting over custody over him. So yeah, it got announced that he's going to be reprising his role as John Connor in Dark Fate. And from what I heard early on, I was excited, but now I'm more or less, after doing some research as far as like where he's currently at with his life, he's kind of in it. I don't know if he's like completely out of rehab or whatever, but like, this is honestly a bounce back for him, which is awesome. But from what I'm thinking, I'm honestly, from what we've seen from the trailers, he's not included at all as far as like what we've seen so far. And from what it looks like from the character of Sarah Connor herself, like her intent in this movie is like you were saying, Ryan, like that song was written perfectly. That she's always hunting, or like the hunt is always going on. And I feel like John Connor, like they're using him to do a flashback scene to show early on that they're going to have a young actor and just CG dub his face, and it'll be voiced by him. But I think they're going to kill John Connor, and I think his character is going to be dead, and we're just going to be left with Sarah. After what I'm seeing, because I don't think Eddie Furlong is anywhere near in the condition to actually play the role that that more or less he would like to play. So
yeah, I don't know. I had a different spin in my head. I mean, you could absolutely be 100% correct, but when I first heard about it, the first thing that popped in my head was some kind of dramatic finish to where, there's some like emergency call that goes out that Sarah Connor puts out. You just don't know who she's calling. And at some, important part at the end, fucking lo and behold, here comes fucking, John Connor coming out with some, mind-blowing weapon that blows everybody up, or he saves his mom, or something, and then that's it. Like, they don't make him a huge, intricate part, but some kind of, like, homage to him and his character, just coming in to save the day real quick, and then, he goes away.
Yeah.
But
the only reason
he's not
why
going to be a big part in this movie.
Yeah, the only reason why I'm saying this is because director Tim Miller came out and said he's not necessarily back in the way that you think he is. So there's that. From that, I'm like, okay.
They could even give him a mental illness to where maybe he's lost his mind.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They could totally play into that.
They go to him before.
We did also.
Or maybe somebody tries to go to him for answers, but he's just, more or less just mentally not there.
True.
And then he doesn't even have to open his mouth. He's just a face.
No, it's true. He could be just a mute or whatever.
Because can you imagine him going and rambling on for years and years about robots from the future and everyone obviously thinking he's fucking crazy?
Yeah, lock him up just like his mom was in T2. So,
that's what I mean. So
yeah,
maybe after drugs and electric shock therapy or whatever they did to him, fried him.
But you also think he would have learned from that, from witnessing his mom going through that. So whether or not how much he believed about Judgment Day, you feel like he kind of was already privy to that information. So why exactly would he lose his mind? So I don't know. Yeah. They're gonna have to explain that. So
yeah, that'll be interesting.
So
it's still exciting.
I have a theory on it.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
I think, you guys saying it, I think he's going to be a very small part. My take is going to be this girl that they're trying to protect. You're not going to know who she is necessarily, but you're going to find out at the end that she's his daughter. And she's actually the Connor that was...
She's the Connor we're looking for.
The original, what was meant to be the target. And they just somehow either time got changed or they just
time didn't have to change.
Had the wrong character. Not time,
no,
sorry,
but I'm saying
the timeline.
Yeah, well, you could be absolutely right. She could have been the target all along, but they said, hey, instead of going after her at some point in time, let's just kill off, her parents so where she wouldn't even be born, and that's why they went after her and Sarah Connor. They can go a bunch of different routes within that.
So many different routes. Like, she could be a huge part of another part of the resistance that the machines are coming back to actually wipe her out, because in the future she plays an integral, an intricate role as far as being part of the resistance. So,
yeah, that's very true.
I do like that theory. That could happen. Like, maybe the machines actually learn that it doesn't end with John Connor. Maybe it actually, they actually will win if they, go forward a generation or whatever. Who knows, dude?
Who knows,
so,
man?
Who knows?
Directions.
So,
yeah,
the thing is...
It sounds like they want to make this a franchise again. They're not trying to just make another movie. The goal, from what I've heard with interviews with Miller, is...
Do it fucking justice, dude.
They're putting all the cards on the table. This needs to succeed, and they want to keep it going. And if it doesn't, then they're just probably going to give up.
Yeah,
rightfully so. If they can't nail this one, then I would do the same.
This is the end of Terminator. If it doesn't, honestly, Dark Fate. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It could be
a Dark Fate indeed.
Yeah, for me, this is one of my most favorite beloved series of all time, and just the last three iterations, it's been brutal. I can't sit here anymore and say that I can't defend these films because they were fucking atrocious. So yeah, man, I hope they do it justice, and I hope that James Cameron's producing role in this movie was more about than just him actually recruiting Sarah to be in the movie, or Linda Hamilton. So because that's all I heard so far. So it sounds like he actually had some actual 2 cents as far as where the story should go. So I like that, and I'm intrigued by that as well. And honestly, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there's a little snippet that got released about who Arnie is in this movie, and I kind of wish they didn't reveal that.
I
feel like it would have been a great little reveal.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, they went ahead and announced that he's another T800 model, but at this point he's trying to assimilate more with obviously the human race, and his name is Carl in this movie. And he is he's a drapery salesman, and he drives a van, and he has a side business or whatever. So for me, I mean, that wasn't at all actually revealed in the trailer. So the fact that they had to reveal that outside to just go into the story more at Comic Con felt a little weird. So I don't know. I don't feel like they needed to reveal that at all. So, and they went ahead and did that. And I'm seeing a bunch of articles getting reposted about this, and I'm like, okay, cool. That's great, but whatever. That would have appreciated just seeing that as I see the film, because it's a nice little reveal for now. So, what are you gonna do?
It just has me kind of concerned that they're not confident, and they feel the need to release info like that. As
they absolutely do, dude.
Oh shit moments for getting people hyped to come see it. It's gonna be another model.
They do, man. I mean, after Genesis, oh man, just that almost that almost killed the franchise itself. So the fact that they're even doing this, kudos to Tim Miller for taking a risk here, because coming off of Deadpool, the first one, and then coming into this. I do like the fact that they announced this is an R-rated movie, and it sounds like this is going to be completely on par with the first 2 Terminator movies, which, I mean, come on, it's a Terminator movie. It should be freaking rated R. It should be violent. It should be visceral. What we're seeing should be pretty intense. So, and from what I'm hearing, it sounds like it's from let's just put this on record for James Cameron's reputation. He's signed off on this shit. He's ready for it. He looks excited. So it's on him now if it fucking fails, because this is his baby. So I wouldn't think he would actually come out and speak about this so much if he actually didn't believe in it. So we'll see. We'll take his word for it for now. So I mean, obviously he's busy with 3-4 other Avatar movies, but the fact that this is his baby and someone else is touching it, and he actually helped produce it a little bit, so his name is somewhat attached. That says a lot. So I'm really hoping that like you're saying, Steve, I'm really hoping this kind of revitalizes the series, and we'll see where we go from here. So, yeah.
Let's just hope that it's not a Sarah Connor connects to a Terminator and has hair sex and betrays the human race.
That's all we can hope for.
Well, maybe there's that. So who knows? I mean, honestly, too, this is great because you're going to get everybody that is from the original Terminator movies in this movie, right? So you're getting Lyndall Hamilton.
Yeah, basically, they're bringing the team back,
right? So it's awesome. So in that respect, it's already got the nostalgic feels that I already had, that I thought I had for Genesis, but then I just got let down. So
totally.
We'll see. The fact that Linda Hamilton's back and she was convinced to come back, something says that she wasn't actually convinced. She actually saw reason to come back because she's like, you know what? Enough time has gone now that I actually feel like it would be interesting to explore this character as far as what has she gone through for the past, almost 30 years. So, we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. So that's coming out November period or whatever this year. So we'll see. We will see. And I'm going to just allude really quickly here about my other awesome announcement that I was super excited for. It got announced that Blumhouse Pictures has signed on David Gordon Green to go ahead and not make 1 but 2 Halloween sequels after the success of the 2018 Halloween movie. So we're going to get they're already named these movies as well. So we're going to get Halloween Kills, which is going to be coming out 2021 Halloween, and then the following year of was it 2020? No, I'm sorry. The end of 2020, we're going to get Halloween, and then 2021, we're going to get Halloween Ends. And Jamie Lee Curtis as well has been signed on for this. So apparently, this will be the official end for this little mini reboot, and I'm psyched for it, dude. I absolutely. I've already gone into detail before about how pumped I was for the last iteration. Like for me. Honestly, it like I go back and forth with Terminator. I hope it literally, what Halloween did, I hope is what Terminator does as well, as far as just retconning to the first two movies and completely forgetting all the horrible sequels or renditions after. So, yeah, I'm also excited for that announcement. That got announced during Comic Con too, so pretty pumped for that.
Yeah, me too, man. I like all those horror films. I grew up watching those too, and those have always been some of my favorites. Some I like, obviously, more than others, but any of the ones with Jamie Lee Curtis, I've always really enjoyed. So the fact that she's already saying that she's going to be attached to these makes me pretty stoked.
Hell yeah. And in so many ways, there's a lot of parallels here to, for her, like, the Halloween is her baby, right? Like that's where she got her stardom, right? And the same thing with Linda Hamilton. She got her stardom from Terminator. So you got two, I want to say, more than middle-age actresses that are coming back to their iconic franchises, and it's just pretty neat to see. So
yeah, full circle, right?
Full circle, man, which is pretty cool. So
yep, I agree. All right, well, I'm fucking spent, guys. I'm fucking done. I'm done. I'm like, pull me out of the oven. I'm cooked.
Yeah,
done,
dude. That was deep, real deep.
It was fun though. I mean, there was a lot of material.
There's a lot
more material that we did not get to. But like I said, there's just so much you're never going to fit it all into one. But I'm glad we got to do some deep dives into the Marvel Phase 4. We brushed over, I think, within a record time of 7 minutes and 52 seconds of DC news, which is great. And then obviously these other movies that are now coming that got released at Comic-Con too, that I'm also very excited for. So yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to touch base on those. And Mike, thank you for obviously collecting as much information as you did. And Steve, thank you so much for joining us once again. Second episode in a row, which is you're the first guest speaker to ever do that, man. So that's pretty sweet.
Well, thank you. It's an honor.
Yeah, man. And like I said, going forward, if we can get you on, a couple times a month even, if we do 2 shows with you a month where you can kind of, practice more and kind of get your own cast going, and we can help, support you in any way, we will. So keep that in mind, and we'd love to have you back on sometime soon.
Yeah, sounds great.
Awesome.
Thanks,
All
everyone.
Right.
And I found actually a deal for anybody who wants to catch up on Terminator before the new one. Terminator 2 Judgment Day 4K Blu-ray is $7.50 on Amazon.
Damn.
That's nice.
Comes with the Blu-ray and digital copy. So that's a steal of a deal.
Steal of a deal, but I hate to be a dick. I heard that transfer, that 4K transfer, was very poorly done.
Oh, yes. Was it?
So, I mean, go ahead, go to Blu-ray.com, go read a review on it. I got a buddy at work that's a huge Terminator fan as well, as far as being a audio video professional, and he was very, very disappointed with the transfer. So if you got
that explains why it's cheaper than the Blu-ray.
If you have the Blu-ray, they say that the 1080p Blu-ray still rates better. So there's that. That's probably why they're flash sailing that shit to push it out.
Oh, good thing for Mike's information to save a few bucks.
I saw a deal and I fucking jumped on it. So
well, dude. I mean, I'm not saying so. Here's the thing: when it first came out, it's not worth a full $30-$40. It's probably worth $8. Go for it.
Yeah, right. I mean, at $8,
$8, why not? I'm actually thinking about it, but I'm thinking.
At least $3.
I'm gonna wait for Dark Fate to come out, and then hopefully they do another, re-release of everything, and then get it then. So,
yep. Yeah, we'll not a bad idea. All right, well, hey, like we finish every podcast, you can find us at twitter.com at What's the Focus. You can also find us at our webpage at whatsthefocus.net. Feel free to send us an email with any kind of suggestions, or if you'd like to be on the show at some particular time, you guys can email us, and we will actually book a slot for you and give you all the information you need to successfully be on the show, which would be a lot of fun.
I want an email portion of the show, okay, where we go over emails. That's what I want. So write us some fucking emails,
yeah,
man.
we're trying to do some review segments, in the very beginning of every show, whether that's iTunes reviews, Google reviews, just emails that you guys send. Anything like that, we definitely want to hear from you. I mean, that's really what it's all about. We're not just talking to each other here. We're here talking to you guys and trying to spread the word about some fun topics and information. So the more we hear from you, the more motivated we are to continue doing what we do. And that's pretty much it. So thank you again for tuning in tonight. This was another long one for us, but it looks like this might be coming more regular, I guess. I don't know. This is coming up on another 4-hour cast here in the next 10 minutes. So.
Like I said, man, we're starting to get the girth now as far as our podcast length, and that's a good sign, I think, for some people.
Yeah.
Like you said, man, you're the one that told me that like you totally dig having a podcast that you can listen to throughout the whole week. So. Yeah, I mean, if your commute is anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, I mean, hopefully this kind of, helps you out getting through that daily grind, right? So, who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, hey, this was episode 18. This is WTF, What's the Focus podcast. We appreciate your listenership, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
This is a message from the emergency stuffed crust warning system.
Cheese!
Little Caesar's Extra Most Bestest Pizza now has 3 feet of cheese stuffed in the crust for just $9. I repeat, it has 3 feet of cheese stuffed in the crust.
Cheese!
That concludes the message from the emergency stuffed crust warning system. Get a large Little Caesar's Extra Most Bestest pepperoni stuffed crust pizza for $9. Top 4 national pizza chains. Extra Most Bestest Pizza versus large round 1-topping pepperoni pizza. Everyday standard menu prices. 3 feet of cheese before cooking at participating locations plus tax.
Pizza.